I didn't start recording. Start recording. Are you recording? Yes, you're recording. Yay, it's recording. Hello, hello, and welcome to another fantastic episode of Anarchy Among Friends Roundtable discussion. This is episode 69, which should have been divine, but it's not divine because we're on Skype, because Google sucks, and yeah, we'll explain that. But how are you guys tonight?
Because Google hates
Fantastic.
content creators.
Yes. Google hates making things easy. Oh, I didn't even do the fucking Bipcot.
We can start again. We're recording. We're not live, so we can start again.
Fuck that. We're just gonna roll. Bipcot no government license. Bipcot.org. Go fucking look it up. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, we previous to the first 68 episodes of this podcast, and I think there was some like intermission episodes there in between, so probably like 70 episodes, we used Google Hangouts to do a live broadcast on YouTube. Well, as of August 1st, which is a couple days ago, that is no longer an option because something, I don't know why, but
because Google decided to stop supporting it. I mean, beyond that,
or YouTube, or whatever.
It's the same fucking company. It's just
it's a Google decided that they wanted to stop supporting it. My theory is because Google's been going way out of their way to really, really exercise a lot of control on content creators, and like the monetization, and there's just been this whole big thing. So I think it's linked to that. I don't know for sure, but that's my suspicion.
So yeah, we don't have that option anymore. So now we are live, or we're not live on Skype because we're not live. We are using a Skype to do the podcast because it has a built-in recorder, because Andrew and I are technotards and we couldn't figure out how to use OBS and the live stream, and it's just it's a clusterfuck. It's a clusterfuck.
Man, I went through OBS and XSplit and a couple of others, and like I was using NDI stuff, and it keeps saying everyone's user guides. It's just that easy. It is a load of crap. It is not just that easy at all. It's not. That's all lies. Dirty damn lies.
Yeah.
So
old man shakes his fist at corporate America.
So if anybody knows an easier way that we can do this and broadcast instead of recording,
yeah, what Derica was trying to say. What Derica was trying to say is, if anybody can help, please, we're begging you.
Hey, there is a bonus tonight, though. I'm topless on the show.
Yep.
That's
but
right.
You guys don't get to see it because
Lindsay, you stood up earlier. You're bottomless too.
Yeah, that's true. I'm wearing my panties, and that is it.
She is wearing an appropriate attire for episode 69.
Yeah, Lindsay is currently laying just that way through the door, kind of pretty much naked on my couch. So,
she's not naked. She has a smile on.
She's wearing her glasses.
Glasses.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Good start to episode 69, but you guys listening on the podcatchers won't be able to see that.
69, dude.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to do that this whole time. I was waiting for the right moment. Was that the right moment? I don't know. I hope so.
Where's
I'm
the
sure
dumb
there'll be more.
Is there ever a wrong moment for 69?
Or
is there ever a wrong moment for a Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
Yeah. I was just gonna say, is there ever a wrong moment to reference Bill and Ted? I don't think there is.
No. There is never a wrong time to reference a Keanu Reeves movie. It's
That's
just
right.
like he's just that awesome.
And they're making a third one. They are making a third one. It is officially in production.
Good.
I'm excited about that.
I'm very excited.
Well, we're all excited. It's a good time to start this episode.
It's episode 69. We should all be excited. If you're not excited, you're listening to the wrong podcast.
That's right.
So
I might even take my shirt off later. It's just hot. And I've got a tank top on, so we'll see.
Don't even ruin it like that.
I might take my shirt off later, and I mean, who knows? We could get crazy. It's episode 69. It's gonna be wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think everybody should take their shirts off. Just straight up.
Yeah.
Jerica, because I know you have children relatively close, you can keep your bra on. But past that, everybody needs
Oh, honey, I'm not wearing one, but I'll put my tank top straps under my armpit so it looks like I'm topless.
Most professional podcast ever. I'm telling you.
Yep. Yeah.
So,
to quote Ron Burgundy, I'm very aroused.
Yes.
Not creepy at all, honey.
As for the quality of our podcast, 60% of the time, it works every time.
Brian, that doesn't even make sense.
Yes. I'll be honest with you. It smells like straight diesel.
Yeah, that smells like pure gasoline. That's
yeah, gasoline. That's right. That's what he said.
It smells like a used diaper filled with Indian food. Desire smells like that to some people.
What the fuck?
Sometimes I feel like Andrew's one of those people that uses bacon grease for lube. I swear.
Probably.
That would get rancid though. That's unhealthy.
If you guys could see the look Lindsay just gave me.
Well, you wouldn't have to worry about it going rancid if you just use it as like anal lube. It'll get pushed back out again.
Should we have done an adult content warning at the beginning of this episode?
Worst slip and slide ever.
Oh,
gross.
Now see, for oral, maybe Lindsay would like that. A little bacon grease on there.
See, I'm a monster, so I don't like bacon.
You are
what
a monster.
the?
Don't judge me.
Yeah.
Don't judge me. I know you're all judging me for being with her, but I deal with it.
I'll eat some. It's just not my favorite thing in the world, like everyone else.
Somebody do a jihad on Lindsay. God. So anyway, let's just jump into it. Andrew,
are we doing alphabetical order?
Let's pull up the link you pulled up because it was different than the link I had, and yours was only a few. Mine is like 50 states.
Well, mine's got all 50. It's just I think it's got different ones than yours.
All right. Well, let's go.
Let's compare the two.
State for state.
State by state.
Oh, we're gonna compare. That's some
compare and contrast. That'd be fun.
See whose list is longer.
We're gonna go 69 on the sex laws.
Or like the Alabama thing, like
the Alabama slam. I feel like that should we should have like an urban dictionary when we're doing episodes like this, because I know Alabama slam is a thing.
Oh God,
there's got to be a sex move on Urban Dictionary named after every state.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to know what the Wisconsin one is because it's going to involve either cheese curds, brats, or beer.
Well, now I'm gonna have to look.
Yeah.
Or possibly old fashions or Bloody Marys, which this is just going downhill so fast.
I just got a flash of like, what is it? American Pie Beta House, like the opening scene where the girl's choking on the sausage. So let's just. All right, let's just get into it. Andrew, go ahead. What's your first one?
All right, Alabama is where we're starting.
That's what she said.
I don't know what that means.
If you have to ask, you don't want to know.
Yeah. Yep.
What's the law you got, Andrew?
Alabama. Weird sex law. Incestuous marriages are completely legal in the state of Alabama.
I got anal and oral sex is illegal between unmarried people.
So you and your boyfriend can't do anything but P and V. But You can marry your sister. That's what I
Yeah, you and your sister cannot, in fact, blow each other until you're married, which is legal in the state of Alabama.
Right.
Alabama. Is anyone surprised by either one of these? I mean, honestly.
No. Given that I know some people from Alabama, no, I am not surprised.
Actually, can I be honest? I'm a little surprised about the incestuous marriage being legal thing. Like, I know that it's illegal in some states where it's still very common and nobody ever fucking enforces it. But I'm surprised it's actually legal in Alabama.
But only regular sex. Incestuous, oral, and anal outside of marriage is not legal.
Right.
So you can fuck your sister, you just can't fuck her in the ass.
Right. Until you're married.
Until you're
married. And then that's probably okay.
Congratulations, Alabama.
I wonder what the divorce rate is in Alabama among relatives.
You know, the real question to that I have is, if a couple gets married in Alabama and then moves to Tennessee and gets divorced, are they still legally brother and sister?
That's the trivia. All right, what's the next one?
Next one, we have Alaska.
Oh, I don't have an Alaska.
Okay.
Moose.
Do you want me to name off the estate sex position that I just found in each of these?
Sure. What's Alabama's?
Sure.
We'll start with Alabama.
The Alabama Slammer.
I knew it was. And what is it?
Do we have a description?
There is no description, but I have pictures, so we can totally post.
Oh no, we're not doing pictures. No.
They're stick people.
I don't
to be
care.
fair. It's
Okay.
This thing is based off of Durex, so.
Describe it to us.
Guy on his knees, girl on her back, basically weight on her shoulders, pelvis up where it should be.
And legs over the shoulders?
No, actually, it's underneath his arms.
So it's the G spot Alabama Slamma is what we're getting here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, if knees over the arms is for the G spot.
Well, it depends on how forward or how upward you're going with your hips, I think.
Yeah. So, either way,
I guess.
Man, this is anyone else like feeling like we're really going
that's
full?
one of my favorites. Shit.
we're already more involved than I thought we were gonna be.
I was gonna say I feel like we're going full Howard Stern here. Especially if you're only listening to the audio version of this. This is very Howard Stern, and I don't know if I should apologize or not.
Never.
No
Never
fucking
apologize.
apologies.
So, all right, what's your next one? Alaska.
So in the state of Alaska, moose are banned from having sex on the city streets of Fairbanks.
How? Yeah, I don't have an Alaska one on this one.
I'm not.
Does Fairbanks have like a deputy whose primary job is to like run off moose that are having sex on the streets?
Now,
Damn
you
it,
keep that
Bullwinkle,
in the
go-
woods where it belongs.
Telling Bullwinkle to go lick himself behind the gas station like the normal person, or like a normal.
How do
moose.
you make laws regarding animals' behavior?
What are you? Mommy,
Especially
Daddy,
wild
what are those
animals.
moose doing?
Who the fuck thought that was gonna do any good at all?
Rocky has some explaining to do.
Oh. Hey, Rock, let me watch me pull a rabbit out of her.
Never mind.
Well, and the official state sex position of Alaska is the Snowy Peak, which is a guy sitting on a chair with the girl sitting on his lap grabbing her boobs.
So it's just chair sex.
Just
Yeah.
sex. Okay.
All
right,
right, it's kind of lame.
So, in conclusion, in Alaska, it's illegal for a bull to use his winkle.
It's only illegal for moose. So if a moose is having sex with like a person, and it never says anything about people not being able to have sex on the city streets. of Fairbanks.
What if it self-identifies as an elk?
Yeah. Or a polar bear. They're a protected species.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
what's
I
your
think You should really have an official state sex position for Alaska that is called the polar bear. While it sounds a little gay exclusive, I'm just saying there's got to be something there that you can work with there. Come on, Urban Dictionary, back me up here.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
So what's next? Arizona?
Arizona. What do you have, Jason?
I got adultery is still a class 3 misdemeanor. However, suspects can't be prosecuted unless their spouse is willing to press charges.
Okay.
That's not really weird, but that's what it says.
It's weird in that, like, your wife has to be pissed off enough about you banging your secretary to actually press charges against you for adultery.
Right?
It's a weird like cross of criminal and civil court here. That's what makes it weird.
That's a little strange.
It's like I can understand a contract law, but like a criminal prosecution, no.
Hey, honey, I showed up to surprise you at work, and
Yeah.
Mine is you may not have, and this one is weird. You may not have more than 2 dildos in the same house in the state of Arizona.
I'm never moving to Arizona.
I was gonna say, shit, honey, we can't move to Arizona.
I'll
funny thing
I'll
is-
retire to Florida because Florida's fucking crazy. That place is like a party.
Oh God!
Like, everybody's fucked up. God. Did I
The
freeze?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, sorry.
Lindsay looks frozen now.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
The funny thing is that, like, I know people from Arizona who definitely violate that law.
I think we all do.
Yeah.
I've just seen. How are you going to regulate that? Are you going to have a dildo inspector?
And I have to wonder where laws like this come from. Some legislator somewhere had to write that law thinking that it was a really good idea.
Like, and what constitutes a dildo? Like
Anything's
a
a dildo if you're brave enough.
No, like exactly. Like
Cucumbers.
Are we talking about like penis-shaped objects, or are we talking like the fish-shaped objects, or like the weird like the Trump dildo and the Putin dildo? Like, do those count as actual dildos against this law?
The
or are they just
jackhammer
quote, unquote,
Jesus.
the novelty items, quote unquote? Like, it's weird.
Okay, so that's
Let's see. The Grand
No.
Canyon.
All
Okay.
right, so you guys
Of course
can
they
see
did.
my screen. Good, because I
Yes.
really don't want to describe all of these.
Okay, so the Grand Canyon, she is on her back with her knees pulled up to her breasts. The guy is kneeling behind her, nailing her Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
That, see, and to me, that I'd call that the baby maker.
That is a no pull out position.
Yes, it is. Just for future reference. But I mean, like, seriously, is there a dildo inspector who knocks on the door and is like, "I'm sorry, I need to inspect how many rubber phallic objects you have in your home"? Like, he just shows up and, sorry, dildo inspection. That's not a dildo, it's just a bowling pin. I beg to differ. Like,
And what if you're a vegan? Like, you got like 7 cucumbers in the fridge and an eggplant.
like I said, they have to smell every one of them. They have to just sniff them.
Okay. Arkansas.
Depending on what neighborhood you're in, that's either a great job or a terrible one.
Arkansas should be fun.
Arkansas, I got spouses can sue if their partner gets an abortion without their consent. That's not weird, but
Yeah. It's not really a sex law. We're looking for like the
That's
things
so-
regulating
Yeah.
human sexual
Oh,
activity.
See,
sorry,
I got that one.
Sissy.
We have this in Arkansas. Flirtation and I quote, lascivious banter, end quote, between men and women on the streets can result in a 30-day jail term.
Oh my god.
What the fuck?
Public flirtation?
And lascivious banter. So if you're like, hey, baby, you got a little Irish in you? You want a little more? You can go to jail for 30 days.
For that pickup line, you do deserve 30 days in jail.
Yeah.
Hey, it worked for me once. Lindsay was there.
It was ridiculous, but I cannot believe it worked with one of our exes.
It actually worked.
Nice.
All right, Derica, what's that? You described that one, the position for us.
Me?
Yeah,
I can't really see it.
Oh, do you need me to talk?
that's also
Yeah.
what she said.
Yeah, I can't really see it. Yeah,
It's
Lindsay, it's your
accordion.
screen. So.
It's the accordion. So, chick is on the platform on her back. Guy's on his knees with her legs straight up in the air.
So
Why is Arkansas named after the accordion?
I don't know. Why she's not folded up at all. That's a really bad name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
that's
right.
very disingenuous.
Like if she had knees to chest and feet on his shoulders, that would be
Yeah.
a little bit different.
yeah,
Right,
that I
it would
could
make more
understand.
And
Also,
I like
yeah.
that position. That's another
Yeah.
favorite.
Way more fun as well.
Yeah.
So
all right.
Yeah.
I got Colorado's the next one.
you don't have one from California?
I do not have one from California. Oh, I do have
got
one from California.
California.
I do have one from California. Stuffed articles made to look like breasts, also known as boob pillows, cannot be sold within 1,000 feet of a highway.
What the fuck?
What?
That is what it says. I'm telling you, that is what it says.
Well,
Stuffed
Because in
articles made to look like breasts, also known as boob pillows, can't be sold within 1,000 feet of a highway.
that is wildly arbitrary. I don't.
Does that
I wanna
apply
know-
to plastic surgeons?
It can't be
Maybe.
within 1,000 feet of the highway.
Yeah, because plastic surgeons have like the saline bags sitting around, you know.
Sorry, sir. I'm going to need you to move your business because you're a little too close with all them fake boobies to that highway.
Right. Because that totally makes fucking sense. Once again, some legislator, obviously this is going to be a case of nepotism. They're doing this to like push competition out for somebody that they owe a favor to. That's the only explanation for this
Either
kind
that
of law.
or a super prude that just happened to see it out of the corner of their eye as they're driving down the freeway, some billboard. Or something.
Right. Yeah.
Or my guess is it's also to try and keep like sex shops off of the highway.
Possibly.
So, all right, what's your California one, Andrew?
All right, give me a second here. There we go. All right. California is actually the same one for me. It's the booby pillows. So.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, no, I got
the,
one more. I got one more. No man shall dress as a woman in Walnut, California without written permission of the sheriff.
What?
That
What?
sucks for the transgender out there.
Yeah.
If I remember right, I think Walnut is in Sacramento County.
And like walnut is the new potato on the internet, calling people a walnut. So it makes sense.
No, okay. Walnut is an affluent city in the eastern part of Los Angeles County.
Huh.
So,
Hey, for anybody who's just listening, by the way, I took my shirt off. So yeah, just so you know.
Which we
why
can't.
do you?
which
yeah,
we-
why
which
do you
we-
still never
which we-
show up when you talk? I don't understand. what's
Because
going on.
Lindsay.
Oh, because Lindsay keeps sharing her screen.
Yeah, she's got her
Well.
screen up. So
So we can't see Derica's boobies. Thank Lindsay.
What the hell?
well, you couldn't anyways. I'm cut off like, you know, right below collarbones, but
Yeah. So all right.
you can see my
Colorado.
tan lines though.
All right.
Well,
Colorado.
California's sex
Oh,
move
Cal-
is
sorry.
basically.
yeah, it's just cowgirl. That's it, and it's called the Cali Quake.
Quake. And
What?
it's her riding him, which is really weak.
Boring. Well, I mean, it's not boring when you're doing it, but
Unless she's actually bouncing, and then at least I understand the quake part because things are gonna
'Cause-
shake on the bed and
Right.
stuff.
Because the booby shake.
or if she's just doing the grind forward and backward, because like that's how tectonic plates rub against each other. So
I guess, but like
You
that
got it.
one, yeah, but that's so like boring because like if you're riding me like you're trying to scoot a chair across the room,
Well, you know what? You can just have patience until I'm done with what I'm doing, and then we'll do it your way.
You just suck it up.
Yeah. I'm just using you right now. You're my like living Sibian. Just lay there and let me do what I need to do.
You just need to give them enough caffeine so that they're just vibrating inherently. And
Right.
There you
Right.
go. All right, Colorado, Cattle Creek, Colorado. It is against the law to have sex with your spouse while bathing in a river or stream.
no river sex.
With your spouse.
You know,
with,
I actually
with your spouse.
With your spouse. If it's with the maid, it's okay.
Oh. I was gonna say if I live downstream, I mean, I'd be okay with that law. I don't want that in my water supply, but it's just your spouse. Like you could have sex with, I don't know, animals in the stream or.
Hey,
Yeah.
the fish do it in the stream. I mean, what's really the difference between fish sperm and human sperm?
Yeah, and
Well, although really,
and the
let's
fish
be-
sperm doesn't even get contained. They just broadcast spray that shit over the eggs.
That's true. Absolutely.
much like a porn star from a very boring porn video.
Agreed.
What's your Colorado law?
All right, so Colorado, a male massage parlor worker must wear all white clothing in Adams County, Colorado.
All
That's
white clothing.
all white clothing if he works in a massage parlor. So apparently he needs to dress like he's a sanitarium worker if he's going to give you a massage.
Boy, that really that would make me super comfortable. I don't know about you guys.
Hello, my name is Hans. I am
Well, I
here
mean-
to either put you in a straitjacket or give you a massage. We see.
Well, I
Fucking
mean,
Nurse
if-
Ratchet.
If he wore all black, like the oils would show up, looking like something else, I guess, and it would be
Perhaps it's to conceal their boners.
yeah. No.
Oh, because
never know.
white pants are so effective at concealing boners.
In the correct lighting, you know.
No, they're not. I was in the Navy around dudes in dress whites all the time. White pants do not conceal boners.
In the Navy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and the sex act is the Pike's Peak or Bust, which is
And
very
bust.
and bust, which is very similar to the accordion, except her legs are bent over the gentleman's shoulders.
Yeah, which
And
is still.
to be frank, I don't know when any woman with femurs that long. Like you can
That's-
get your knees
Like,
on his shoulders if he's leaning forward, but not if he's sitting straight up.
Right?
Yeah, that seems. So I got one more for Colorado, though. I do have another one.
all right,
Keeping a house where unmarried persons are allowed to have sex is prohibited in this entire state of Colorado.
Jesus. Did the fucking ladies auxiliary write that law? Holy shit.
that is
It was, it was a Jewish grandmother. Let's all be
Yeah.
honest here.
Yeah.
That's-
Well,
oh my
I mean-
gosh, they're down there, and I don't know what they're doing, but it's terrible. I'm telling you, there's just people in and out all the time. I think they're running trains. Say hand to God, I swear.
And they're playing that rock music.
There's Negro folk dancing with the white kids. It's awful.
Right.
and they got the jazz cabbage.
Two of them were male, and
That's
the other two, the other two were female.
Joints in the morning. All right, what's your next one?
Connecticut. What do we got for Connecticut?
I don't have a Connecticut. Andrew, do you have a Connecticut, or are you going to be frozen? Andrew's frozen.
All right, it's
Oh.
looking like we're all moving to Connecticut. If there's no weird sex laws there.
Can you see my official sex position of Connecticut? The constitutional clam chowder.
Oh my god.
So Andrew's not frozen now.
Oh, there we go. Hang on.
Yep.
Am I back yet? There we
Yep,
go.
you're back.
My Skype crashed, so it's good that we're both.
All right, what do you have? What do you have for Connecticut, Andrew?
We're all the way down to Connecticut. Why did we skip all the rest of them?
Well,
We're going in alphabetical order. After Colorado is Connecticut, then Delaware. I had to learn a song in grade school.
All right. I don't have one for Connecticut. What was it? What did I miss?
I don't have one. I didn't have one either. I didn't have one for Connecticut.
So
either.
we're all moving to Connecticut. It's a degenerate haven.
No, we're not moving to Connecticut. Have you seen its gun laws? Hell no.
Yeah.
But honey, it has the constitutional clam chowder there.
Why is that not oral sex?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Kidding. So that's
I got Fight Club clean food, please. I suggest the lady not get the clam chowder.
Yeah, if you're gonna call it clam chowder, I really feel like it should involve cunnilingus. I'm just gonna say that seems to make sense.
Yeah.
I don't actually even know what they're doing here, because the way it looks to me sounds like you're gonna tear me, and I don't think so.
Yeah, they missed a real opportunity on the name. It just looks like her feet are on his chest.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Her feet are on his
holding
chest,
her knees.
and her hips are kind of up on his knees, and then he's going, which seems like your upper legs would get sore very quickly if you were to do that.
And she's holding her knees. So that's what it looks like to me.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's about as vanilla as Connecticut ought to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very blue blood. Blue blood.
All right.
So.
Baby, I'm gonna tear that up like we tore up all of King George's edicts. It's constitutional
that's like,
clam chowder.
That looks like a repressed housewife getting ready to push her husband away the second he comes.
Right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
The kind that would be like, I'm gonna, I'm a repressed sexual deviant, and then immediately like nothing but vanilla and.
Yeah.
We're not talking about your ex, honey.
Oh no! Well, just bring it up. I don't mind calling people out.
So, all right, what's next? Delaware. I don't have
Delaware.
one. I don't have one for Delaware.
I don't have one for Delaware either.
We're in
Apparently,
Delaware.
you can also fuck like a rabbit in Delaware as well.
Yeah.
And I have the first comer.
It's her sitting on his lap on a chair, which is...
It's reverse cowgirl on a chair while playing video games and or watching TV. That's all this is.
I mean,
that's in front of a window.
That's always a good one.
In front of a window would make it more interesting because you got the exhibitionist aspect.
Like, I'm pretty sure that's what that is. This is a window.
Yeah, if her legs are on the outside of his legs on both sides, and the way his hand is positioned, it looks like he's fiddling the diddly, if you know what I mean. So, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a little kinky. I'll give it that.
Now, I'm not saying I've done that in
if-
my living room before, but I'm not saying that I haven't done that in my living room before. So.
No. All right,
If you live in the city, I mean, that's the thing to do right there.
Oh,
No weird sex
Florida.
laws in Delaware. Hi, we're in Delaware.
Florida. Okay, Florida's got to have a good one, right? Florida. What's the word? Florida sex law.
What do you have for Florida?
I don't have anything for Florida, so I am Googling it.
All I have for Florida is that married couples, as well as singles, cannot engage in open, quote, lewdness or lascivious behavior in public spaces.
Mischievous?
Lascivious.
Oh.
So,
lascivious. Okay.
lascivious. Yeah. Lascivious. Lascivious behavior. So no performing oral on each other in a bar, no getting it on in public is what it's saying.
I like this sex position. It's one of my favorites.
It's from the side, called the gator grip.
The gator grip. Yep. It's
I like
just
that one.
spooning sex, basically. That's what it is.
Yeah. You know what? That one's good with a couple of mods, right? So what you do is her top leg goes forward and he gets up on his knees and her bottom leg is like to his left and her top leg is to his right. That's a good one.
I like it from the side like that with her leg up and then like kind of bent over back, so it's almost like behind you, and then you're in a good position. You can hold onto her throat really well there.
Yeah.
You
Pull her
can.
hair.
However,
Pull
the
her hair.
problem with this is having both bad knees and dad bod is that the guy will totally wear out long before he's done. Not before you're done, if he's doing it right, but before he's done, he'll be like, ow, 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 burning.
And can we not, or can we bring up just how long her arms look in that position?
Yeah.
Well, look at her
weird.
leg.
Like her arms are literally as long as her legs right there, and it's just it looks really weird in a little drawing.
That stick figure isn't banging a chick, he's banging a fucking orangutan. What the hell is happening?
Hey, banging a giraffe is apparently not against the law in Florida.
Jeez.
So, all right, what do you got in Georgia?
Oh, God. And let me just point out, Georgia is one of the most backwards ass fucking piece of shit states I've ever been in.
That's what I keep hearing.
The term sadomasochistic abuse is defined so broadly in the state of Georgia that it can possibly be applied to a person handcuffing another while in a clown suit.
What?
Like I gotta bring up, like, if you're handcuffing someone while wearing a clown suit, that is a huge turnoff.
You know, I have to ask, if you're handcuffing somebody while wearing a clown suit, are you the sadist or are you the masochist? I really don't fucking know.
And
Yes.
Like, oh my god, that's one sexy red nose.
get ready for the balloon animal.
Yeah, I
you gonna do
honestly
with
don't
that
know if
balloon
that
animal?
qualifies you as the top or the bottom. I just don't fucking know.
Just we all float down here. Oh God. Oh.
The sex playlist is
That would be fucking terrifying.
Oh my god.
What did I say?
You know what? You know
she's-
what? Georgia
she's-
might be right. That might be S&M abuse.
He's got her pinned in the corner with a chair and a whip.
But it's not.
Oh my
But
god.
that law is not. It's just sadomasochism. It's sadomasochistic abuse. So they're qualifying it as a domestic abuse offense if you
Right.
handcuff someone while in a clown suit. Which, admittedly, considering clowns, it's not a stretch. But
Yeah.
All right, I got anal and oral sex are prohibited regardless of marital status.
Seriously?
that seems right for Georgia. Yep.
So Georgia's just straight vanilla.
Having married someone from Georgia, however, I can assure you, no one follows that law. Having married, more specifically, a stripper from Georgia, let me assure you, no one follows that law. I do have one other one, though, from Georgia, which is very weird. All sex toys, all sex toys are completely banned in the state of Georgia.
Seriously?
Hence the need to wear the clown suit.
No, it's a
And
balloon
yet-
animal.
I know from personal experience that all you have to do is drive across the border into South Carolina, and there are sex shops as far as the fucking eye can see.
That is true. That is true. I actually lived at one point, like where my ex-wife is from, is the northwest corner of Georgia, so the mountains. So think Squidbillies, and let me assure you, Squidbillies is an accurate representation of the culture of northwest Georgia mountains.
The Ozarks and
It's the Great Smoky Mountains going into the Blue Ridge Mountains, which is why the town is called Blue Ridge. Fanning County, Georgia, if anyone's curious. But that area has got to be the most hick, white trash, redneck area I've ever been in, and it makes perfect sense that sex toys are banned because most of them couldn't spell the word sex toy. So
You sound like you need to spend more time in West Virginia, Andrew.
no.
Slinky's gonna be really upset about that comment.
No one cares what Slinky thinks.
But speaking of a recent, relationship.
Yeah. Most of these weird sex laws are written because of people like Slinky.
Yeah.
So yeah, and the official state sex position of Georgia is the Savannah Slide,
Which is kind of what Derica was talking about.
Yeah, it's her laying on her side, and she's doing one of those jazzercise leg lifts with her leg up in the air, and he is kneeling over her, and yeah,
but with the leg forward.
But his arm is up. You gotta
no,
point
that's
out
her
his
leg.
arm is. But no, there's also
no, it's not her leg. That's his other arm.
That's his other arm holding her up. Like
I'm gonna need multiple angles on this to understand it.
I know.
I'm sure there's a Pornhub
because you have to tickle her feet because it makes things contract and
Right.
No, I don't want to get kicked in the friggin' face. Are you kidding me?
I will say for the ladies, modify this and just put the leg forward, right? Like you sleep, and that's a really good position for if you're like, you guys are going to hate me for this. If you're heavily pregnant, this is the best sex position there is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. The problem is after you, like when the guy finishes at that point, it winds up everywhere. I'm just pointing out from experience. That's the issue.
No, it doesn't. Position. Just put her cum rag in her hand before you start, and then she can just have it right down there and ready as soon as he pulls out.
What's this towel for? Oh, you'll know.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Not sleeping in the wet spot. All right. What do you got for Hawaii?
That's the punishment my kids get for crawling in my bed in the middle of the night.
Oh.
Oh God.
No.
Thank goodness Kevin doesn't have a clown fetish. That would ruin the kids climbing into bed in the middle of the night.
Oh God.
And Andrew won't even have sex with me if the kiddo is here, so.
That's because you're a screamer.
Yeah, exactly. You're way too loud. I can't do that because she'd be like, "Are you okay?" And I don't need to deal with that.
Her mouth, Andrew.
What I need to do is just choke her hard enough, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Put on the clown suit. She'll be too scared to say anything.
I'll be too scared to say anything. You kidding?
Lindsay be like, "That's a mighty nice nose you have there, Andrew. Can I squeeze it?"
All right, you guys. What do we have for Hawaii?
You know what they say about guys with big shoes.
I think this is where Dan would be like, honk honk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So what's up for Hawaii?
All right. There are no laws on the books which prohibit bestiality.
Wow.
In Hawaii? Really?
Yeah. So.
No. Listen, I lived in Hawaii for 3 years. All right. Most of Hawaii would put redneck America to fucking shame.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Ohana means family.
That's
family means nobody gets left behind.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
They do love their pegs.
Oh.
They really love their pegs.
All right, you got one on that link for Hawaii?
I do not have a Hawaii.
Okay. We got the official state sex position of Hawaii is her on top wearing what I assume is
a
hula skirt.
And like coconut bra.
That's
not even right though. If you're gonna do a hula, you should be crouching over him and do the fucking hula. Spell the word fucking coconut with your hips, bitch.
No, see the thing about hula is the hips go side to side like this. It's like pistons, right?
Yeah.
That's what you want from a hula dancer in the sack. You want that like pistoning movement they do with their hips.
Right. So if you can kind of twerk, but not twerk back and forward, but left, right, that's the hula. That's what that is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
if that would be weird.
I would not last through coconut if they were actually doing that.
I was gonna
For the
say, and
record.
also if you can do that, call me.
All right. What's next? Idaho.
I actually don't have one for Idaho, which
Oh,
is really
oh.
surprising.
I have Idaho. It's
I
my
thought
favorite.
Iowa was next.
Oh, well, I don't have an Iowa.
I do have an Iowa, but Iowa
Okay.
isn't next. How do you spell words?
Yeah.
Lindsay
Well,
brought up
according
Iowa.
to this website,
Yeah.
I was next.
I don't know how O comes before D, but
Whatever.
Idaho. I got a unmarried sex.
The O comes before D, you guys.
No, I think the D definitely comes before the L.
Yeah, that's what I was
I
gonna
got
say.
unmarried sex can result in a $300 fine or 6 months in jail.
And I don't
Wow.
know.
And I'm gonna let Andrew describe this one because I don't want to say it out loud.
It's the potato masher, so you're gonna have the Irish guy say it. I see how you're doing this now. It's the potato masher. It's okay. Well, Lindsay really enjoys this. I'm gonna call her out since she's not even on camera right now.
Yes, I do.
So this is basically the chick pretending to be asleep, and the dude's just wailing away behind her, like cuddle sex, but like pretend to sleepy cuddle sex.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that one every once in a while, but to me, that one just doesn't quite get deep enough.
That's a you're going to get a mess on your thighs position.
Yes.
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 Very
Yeah.
much so.
Yeah.
So, all right, what do you got for what's next? Illinois.
Illinois should be next.
Illinois. I got a pair of them.
All right. What do you got?
So first one I have is if you sell a reptile,
I have that's the one I have too.
you must give a written warning not to nuzzle or kiss them.
What the fuck?
They are
Yeah.
really into
That's
reptiles.
what it says. It says when someone sells a reptile, they are legally required to give the purchaser a written warning telling them not to kiss the reptile.
Wouldn't that be more about like salmonella and shit? Because
I don't know.
Well, one would hope, but like saying I'm an Earper might mean something different in Wisconsin than it does in Illinois.
And like are it's like furry reptiles part of this? The people in like the costumes.
Oh, so many bad dragon sales happening in Illinois, apparently.
oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
Dragon tails, dragon tails.
Oh, God.
Almost
That show.
I really love my iguana. I mean, I really, really love my iguana.
Some Game of Thrones fan is really upset right now.
And how many people had to kiss their reptiles and get like nasty diseases for them to make this law?
You do it when you have a lot of reptiles. Having owned a lot of reptiles, you pick them up and you go, mwah, and you don't think about it necessarily. The fact that like a lot of them carry some pretty horrible like salmonella and things.
Yay, cricket breath.
Yeah, I don't know, you do. Although the nuzzling and kissing, it's not really meant to be a sexual thing, but it kind of comes off that way if you're warning people like, hey, maybe don't molest
don't make
reptile.
out with your reptiles. Yeah, that's what it sounds like, but I'm sure it's more like no affection, like because you can get nasty shit.
Yeah,
So.
like it's not saying like, hey, don't repeatedly lick the belly of your frog because horrible things will happen.
I'm thoroughly disturbed.
Or wonderful
Frogs are
things.
amphibians. Frogs are amphibians. Sorry.
All right, what's the other one from Illinois?
The other one is from Minooka, 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 Illinois.
That literally sounds like a
Minnewaca?
sex position.
I don't know. Maybe it's
Oh,
Minnewaca.
Minnewaca.
Yeah, that sounds like it should be a sex position.
Right.
Yes, it does. It is prohibited by law to. Oh my God! This is a dog-oriented law, and I am not making this up. This is verbatim from the law. It is prohibited to, quote, suffer any bitch or slut, end quote.
What the fuck?
What?
What is a slut when it comes to dogs? Can somebody Google that? What?
Yeah, I don't know. And what is suffer? Like,
I shall not suffer any bitch or slut. Well, I mean, that's understandable, but
Does that mean that like women just need to be super nice in that particular county?
I don't know what that.
Other states were required to suffer them. Like,
Apparently,
Jeez.
Illinois has an 11th commandment: "Thou shalt suffer no bitch nor slut."
What the fuck?
It's just.
I don't know what that means.
All right. The official state sex position of Illinois is the deep dish.
Nice.
It's okay. The deep dish. The gentleman is on his knees, but he is in an elevated position with her hips directly in front of her. Her head is on the ground and her feet are up over his head.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, I don't do this position because I would be suffocated by my titties if I tried to do this position.
Lindsay would be too. Man would.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is the like hyper aggressive. Come here, you slut.
Yes.
Who I'm not going to suffer because I'm in Illinois.
Suffer that.
kind of position. Like you grab her and pull her up to you, and she throws her knees over your shoulder, and you're holding her hips even with yours, but her head's still on the bed.
Her shoulders basically are all that's left on the bed.
That starts like that and ends up with her head pressed against the headboard, and you fully bent over her, and her like literally folded in half like a lawn chair.
Yeah. Which is also one of my favorite positions.
We're learning many things about Derica this evening.
Yes, that's right.
Apparently, both of us girls have no problem going, I really like this one.
Yeah, right. Oh, but men don't know what we want. We're an enigma. They can't fucking figure us out.
Right?
Are you kidding me? If you do that deep dish thing, you're nailing that friggin' G-spot square on, like a heat-seeking missile in that position.
Like you're beating a fucking drum.
Yeah,
well, it depends on curvature, okay? Because every guy's different, right? My favorites are the ones that have like a gentle kind of upward curve towards the belly button, right? You know what I'm talking about? Because they just like, they get the G-spot like fucking perfectly with the tip of that thing. You know what I'm saying?
No, at the same time, like, I've run into problems with guys like that, whereas, like, the guys that don't really have the upward curve, but, like, a slight to the right or left is a little bit better.
For you? Huh. Yeah, I prefer the upward.
Are you just trying to make me feel better right now, dear? Is that what's happening?
Well, Andrew
up and to the left,
question,
man. Up and to the left.
I would throw you under the bus if that was the issue. No. I've just been told my D-spot apparently moves.
That's a load of crap. No, it doesn't.
Hey, I have, like, my sensitivity moves throughout, so we're always having to, like, switch up what we're doing, and we got to kind of chase it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Which at least it makes it interesting.
It does, yeah, and that's why I know so many of these sex moves.
I'm gonna have to put so many freaking warnings on this podcast before.
Seriously, adult fucking content, for the love of God, adult content.
Use your fucking headphones.
Oh.
Yes.
All right. Indiana, what do you got?
Indiana, it is illegal for a man to be sexually aroused in public.
Because you guys have so much control over that.
That's what I have too. It says noticeable boners, or as the law calls it, covered male genitals in a discernibly turgid state.
Turgid. Yeah, that's one of my favorite words.
Are illegal in public.
I love the word turgid.
Man,
So,
all those teenagers are definitely.
So let me get this clear. You can't pop a boner in your pants, but it does not say that you can't whip it out and have the said boner.
Well, it's no visible.
It's not in public.
Not in public. No visible arousal in public for men.
Women can be just
Yeah.
like reading
No,
50
actually,
Shades
mine-
of Grey and dripping
mine
everywhere all day.
mine
Yeah,
says-
I
That's
can be
fine.
dripping
hold
all
on.
over my fucking bistro
Mine
chair.
Mine
out on the
says
sidewalk.
covered. Mine says quote
Oh, does it?
covered male genitalias.
Huh.
Interesting. Does that mean covered, like physically covered, or covered by the law? Because maybe they're like, you know what? If you have a micro penis, it's cool, dude. Like, we get it.
Just take,
Like-
take off your clown wig and put it over it. It'll be fine.
How do the
Red nose.
teenage boys in Indiana ever get an education if they get sent home from school every time they have a visible boner?
I know. Holy crap! I remember being a teenager. It wasn't that. I mean, it was longer ago than I care to admit, but it wasn't that long ago that I was a teenager, and that was like every 35 seconds.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
are you
Unless-
kidding me?
Unless they mean that the guys have to physically be tucking their dick up underneath their
Waistband.
the waistband tuck.
all the time. Because that would make sense then. At least they could hide it without it being.
See, but the waistband tuck hurts then when it goes away, because then it pulls, because it
Yes.
sticks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
You got to be careful about the waistband tuck.
Yeah. So, and then the official state, or the official sex position state of Indiana, is the South Bend Over, which is both of them standing and her bent over at the waist.
Which is the we're at work and we're in a stairwell position.
That is the quickie in the bathroom.
I always called that the clan of the cave bear position.
All right. Do you have one for Iowa, Andrew?
For Iowa, kisses may last no more than 5 minutes.
Oh my God.
What?
So they're
like-
trying to keep people from making out in public, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you, but if I'm making out for 5 minutes, I'm not planning on staying in public past that 5 minutes. So,
Right. Yeah.
Well, I am, but maybe nobody else plans on
If-
watching.
I mean,
if-
depends. Yeah, it depends on the exhibitionist tendencies of the couple, but
Yeah,
Right.
if we're kissing for 5 minutes, we're gonna do some South Bend Over, like
Yeah.
real soon. So
or
Yeah.
if we're kissing for 5 minutes, we're going to do the official state of Iowa sex position, which is shucking the cob.
Iowa, yeah.
Now, and how do they define kissing? Like lips actually in physical contact for 5 minutes, and then you can take a breath and then go another 5 minutes, or what? Like, or like pull away.
Do
Like,
they
how
have
define that?
like and the thing? I mean, and you know that was a bunch of busybody, the women's auxiliary types, the women's Lions Club thing that were
Yeah.
like, all these teenagers are sucking face in public, and it's making me uncomfortable because my husband won't even touch my wrinkly old vag anymore. And so,
Hey, now all badges are wrinkly.
no, I said wrinkly old vag, not just wrinkly, wrinkly old vag.
Gotcha. I missed that.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, and the official state sex position of Iowa is shucking the cob.
Yeah, you
which
got
is-
all those farmer boys with all their farm muscles,
which
so I'm sure this
it's-
was popular there.
It's one of my favorites.
It is. It used to be one of my favorites when I was in shape. When I used to lift
Yeah.
weights and stuff, I definitely enjoyed
It's
this.
Yeah, it used to be one of my favorites when I was in shape too.
it's him standing, holding her up. Her legs are around his waist. Yeah, it's standing sex position. It's a really good one if you can press her against the wall and
Yeah, I was gonna say up
Right.
against the wall. Up against
Uh-huh.
the wall. If she's light enough, I think I could still pull off.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
which AKA means not Lindsay.
Not Derica either. So
It's a good position. The guy has a lot of control in that
Yeah.
position.
I have had this happen to me literally only once, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
it's one of my favorites in smut novels, that's for sure.
it
Right.
was
So,
yeah, it was definitely like, well, with her knees over his biceps. That me and my ex Becky, that was like
Mhm.
our go-to thing, like all the
that's the
time.
easiest way to do that one. Yeah, put her legs up over your arm.
Yeah, that was a constant.
So,
But
all
I
right,
was also like
um,
20 years old at the time, so
All right, Kansas. What do you got for Kansas?
In Kansas, illegal quote-unquote sodomy includes oral sex, but anal penetration with a finger is allowed under specified circumstances.
Jesus Christ. How
That
do
is-
people write and argue and vote on these fucking laws?
Can you imagine that debate? Well, I mean, if it's just one knuckle, it's not really gay. So, like,
Jesus.
All right, I got it is illegal to knowingly drive a prostitute to their sex work.
What the
knowingly. So as long as you don't know that they're going to...
hell? As long as you have plausible deniability.
I
That's
thought
what
I
that
was dropping
means.
her off at the 7-Eleven to meet some friends. I didn't think she was going to go turn tricks, man.
Yeah, I was dropping her off at her shift at the Waffle House.
I mean, I thought
Oh,
she was somebody that lived on that corner.
She said she worked at that truck stop.
I thought
Yeah.
she was a nice girl.
Like
Yeah.
Slinky.
Oh my God. I thought she said she was a nice girl.
She said she was a nice girl.
You just gotta
She
yell out the
told me
window.
she wasn't that kind of girl.
You just gotta yell out the window afterwards. You forgot your clown suit.
Here's your
No.
clown suit and handcuffs. You know, there are many circumstances where that phrase would put you in jail.
Yeah.
Or
So,
possession of those things in your trunk would gain some raised eyebrows, which I think means that everyone should, in fact, carry those in their car. So if they get pulled over and searched, the very first thing that those guys find when they pop your trunk is a clown suit and, like, fuzzy handcuffs.
Yeah. Maybe a roll of duct tape.
In California, they would call that burglary tools.
And also, like, a giant purchase from Bad Dragon.
Yeah.
Just those three things combined, and just to watch their reactions is worth it. That's what the fuck.
So, and
Yeah.
and the official state or the official state of the official state sex mission in Kansas is the tractor pull, which
is the same one we just described. With
Yeah,
her
which is
shoulders on the
another.
bed. Only
yeah.
he's standing, not kneeling.
and she's on an elevated platform.
So basically,
Right.
you're standing next to the bed and pile driving her from slightly below and up to nail her G spot,
Yeah.
and her legs
Right.
are on your forearms. That's it. That's all that is.
So
Right. Still
right,
pretty
what's-
vanilla.
what's next?
Yeah.
Kentucky.
Kentucky, yes.
I surprisingly do not have a Kentucky.
I have two for Kentucky.
Deal.
Dogs must not molest
Nice.
property or people.
What?
No humpy doggy.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I don't know.
So again, they're regulating the animal's behavior instead of the fucking person.
Means that you can go ahead and dry hump everything in sight, but your dog, no.
Put the peanut butter away.
Yeah. It's no molestation by the dogs, apparently. So if you have a horny dog in Kentucky, you might go to jail.
But the dogs can molest each other, right? Just not people.
Yeah, just not people. They can molest anything else, just not people.
I thought you said objects, which means
property. So property. So they can molest trees or things like that. But if it's somebody's
my
couch
clown
or-
wig. My clown wig is getting fucked right now.
Call Crime Stoppers.
all you hear is the squeak of the clown nose.
Yeah.
All right, what's the other one?
The other one is until 1975, people wearing bathing suits on any city street were required to have a police escort.
What? Until when?
1975.
Good Lord.
Holy Bible Belt, Batman.
Yeah.
So if you were a chick and you were running to, say, an ice cream shop from the public pool and you wore your bikini the whole way, in order to do that legally, you had to have a cop with you.
Jesus. Now, do we think that was like moral busybodies, or do we think it was the cops that were pushing for that law?
Yeah. Now, I'm afraid I'm gonna need to go ahead and just escort them women in them bathing suits.
I'll just
you
be
know,
three
for
steps
safety.
behind you, darling.
Yeah, no, you go first. I'll just follow you. It'll be great.
Make sure you
There
do
you
some
go.
facts, though, ma'am.
So, all right, go ahead and do that sex position, Andrew.
Oh, okay. So for Kentucky, we have the Derby, which is really made, I think, by the I'm going to watch the races today hat that she's wearing.
Yeah.
It's not really the Derby if you're not wearing the hat. You got to be wearing the hat for it. Otherwise, she's bent over a chair facing the back of the chair, and he's railing her from behind with her bent forward against the back of the chair in her fancy hat.
It's just doggy style on the drawing room furniture.
Like it's the furniture it's like them riding a horse. The Derby.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but the angle of her butt tells me that that's probably anal.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, because if
that
was P and V, then her whole stomach would be on the arm of that chair.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's whoa kind of a moment. Yep. That's what that is. And I mean, it makes sense because if you've ever been to any horse, and I don't know if anybody else has ever been to a horse race at like a major
one or
venue.
two. Yeah.
It's where they have the really nice like boxes that you can get where they're enclosed and they have furniture and like snacks and things. It seems like that would be the place for this.
It looks like that's what they were drawing essentially. Like, I mean, she's got her race hat on. So these two high society people are getting frisky in the box at the Derby while their spouses are out getting glasses of champagne from concessions.
This is really one of those.
Now, hold on. This is. I just got this mental image of once the race starts and everybody's cheering, these people are racing the race.
Yeah, or they're doing it at the same time so that they can pretend everybody's cheering for them.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was what I thought too.
Yeah, that was my thought.
It looks like a fun position.
Yeah.
So, all right, what's the next one?
Especially if it's anal.
That is definitely the kind of position that I've dated one or two chicks who are pretty rich and from rich backgrounds who they would totally be into that. So
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, what's that? We got
right.
Louisiana.
Yeah.
Louisiana, home of New Orleans and Duck Dynasty.
That's true. Okay, what do you got?
And before I say which, I have two laws. And before I say the first one, I do want to preface to anyone who's unaware. In Louisiana, because the water table is so high, they bury their dead in mausoleums above ground in general because it's too waterlogged to bury them below ground.
Right.
Because sealed caskets float.
And it'll contaminate the water table. So
right, which is something that we saw demonstrated in Katrina, right? All of the caskets were kind of bobbing, and it was relatively horrifying. In Louisiana, however, the home of Anne Rice's Interview with a Vampire, the home of Lestat, the central location for Charlene Harris's True Blood series, the Sookie Stackhouse series.
Yes. Like the center of American vampire mythology.
Yes. In that state, sex with the dead, necrophilia, is completely legal.
Holy shit!
If somebody does not ride in my casket, I'm gonna be really upset.
Jason, I love you, but I wouldn't do that. Mm-mm.
Now, so wait, it says sex with the dead, not sex with a corpse. Sex with the dead, right?
It's sex with the dead, parentheses, necrophilia, is legal.
Okay, so they're not talking about like staying in a haunted hotel and getting a little ghostly loving while you're there, right?
I mean, technically, you could argue, well, they're dead, so it's still necrophilia.
Yeah, because I mean, like, New Orleans is haunted as fuck.
I mean, if you get some of that ghost poontang, who am I to judge? You know,
right. Wouldn't that be Boontang?
Oh,
yeah, all right. What's your other one from Louisiana?
Yeah, I deserve that.
Yeah. All right. It is also legal in the city of New Orleans. This is codified in NOLA. It is illegal to use fortune telling, astrology, or palmistry to settle lovers' quarrels.
What?
Oh, well, according to my palm reading, you were wrong.
Yeah, you were
And
wrong.
then just
So I guess that's just the end of it, ain't it?
Take a look.
Jeez.
Do you not see? Do you not see those tarot cards? Who's right now, motherfucker?
Right.
Yeah, and the official state sex position in Louisiana is the King Louis, which is a gentleman sitting in a recliner, leaning back with his arms behind his head, and she's riding him.
Now I'm down with this one. I am
One
down
of my
with this
most favorite.
Put a scotch in your hand.
The only thing missing is that he doesn't have a cigar and a glass of scotch. You throw those in.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, and the Packers on TV. You got those three together. She's riding you. You got it. Fucking, that's perfect. They don't call it the Big Easy for nothing, motherfuckers.
That's like peak living. You should probably just off yourself after that, guys, because it just doesn't get any better.
Yeah,
it's all downhill from there.
What else are you gonna?
That's some Dan Blazarian level shit right there.
Yep. Oh, actually, no, I take that back. It could get better. You don't off yourself right after that. But if there are two chicks taking turns doing that, at that point, just off yourself afterwards because it doesn't get better.
Right. Okay. All right.
So, all right.
Makes sense.
All right. What do you got next? You got I got Maine.
I don't have one for Maine.
All right, Maine. In Buckfield, cab drivers cannot charge a fare to passengers who perform sexual favors in exchange for a ride to a place that serves alcohol.
Wait.
What?
It's
the end that gets me there.
Hold on. In Buckfield, cab drivers cannot charge a fare to passengers who perform sexual favors in exchange for a ride from a place that serves alcohol.
That's like 6 fucking points you have to hit for this law to fucking apply.
If gave me a blowjob for a ride to her friend's house, not to the bar. They were gonna pregame. You can't arrest me.
Well, it's from a place that from a place that has alcohol. Well, that has alcohol or serves alcohol. It is
from
a place that serves alcohol.
So if you get drunk in a bar and you offer a taxi driver,
they don't have to be drunk.
Okay, all right. Well, okay. So if you've been at a bar, if you touched a fucking bar building,
or a restaurant,
literally
a restaurant, or
a sports arena or whatever. So you get a taxi and you offer them a blowjob, or you give them a blowjob in exchange for the ride. They are then not allowed to also charge you a fare. So offering a blowjob for a ride is okay. Performing a blowjob for a ride is okay. The taxi driver is just not able to double charge you.
He can either pick you up from a bar for money and take you somewhere, or he can pick you up down the street, get a blowy, and then take you somewhere.
That's like the main motto now: ass, gas, or grass. Nobody rides for free.
Exactly. I've wanted one of those stickers on the back of my truck forever.
All right,
Yeah.
what's the Andrew? You want to do that position?
Where we have the Lindsay, would you mute your
Main.
volume if you're gonna be moving your phone around and stuff? Like I'm getting constantly here.
Yeah, me too.
Sorry.
All right.
All right.
So the Louisiana one, wait,
Maine.
no, Maine
We were
one
Maine.
is seriously me. Who's what?
That's got to be Lindsay, right?
Yeah,
That's
I
gotta
think
be
that's
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
What?
Getting a lot of feedback or something.
Okay,
or
hold
a
on.
lot
Let
of
me
static.
try. Let me rejoin or like go to the screen and I'll mute myself.
What are you just playing around? Now we can't see anything.
Hold on. Hold on.
Okay.
There.
There we go.
All right. It's the was it the Mainamona?
Manamoner.
Yeah.
Huh.
Which
It's
is
basically just the same one, like she's sleeping and he's fucking her from behind, except her leg is thrown back over his hip.
yeah,
I do
she's
like it
she's
that
pretending to sleep, but really obviously just pretending to sleep.
Yeah,
is
that's-
kind of what I'm getting from that.
That's a good way to dislocate a hip.
way.
Yeah, that's early morning sex. Like that's we got drunk last night and I'm kind of hungover, but I'm also horny.
Yeah,
That's what that
right.
is.
Do all the work for me.
Yeah, exactly.
See, you do this position so that her head can hang off of the bed over the bucket in case she pukes.
right,
go.
right. I really like do all the work for me sex. I enjoy that.
Yeah.
I'm just
hence
saying.
the King Louis. I'm just like it doesn't get much better than that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I got Maryland. I got condoms cannot be sold in vending machines except in places where liquor is sold.
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
So only at bars and liquor stores can you sell condoms.
Condoms
In a
in
vending
vending
machine.
machines.
In vending machines. So no gas. Well, actually, in Wisconsin, we'd still be able to sell them at gas stations because their gas stations also sell liquor. But
Yeah.
I really what?
Yep.
Weird.
That's
I mean, that's that. If you're gonna sell condoms in vending machines, that's a good place to do it.
Right, but that
It's-
shouldn't be the only place it's allowed.
yeah. What
Yeah.
happens if I run a sex shop and I don't have a liquor license? Like selling condoms in
Well,
vending
you
machines
have to
seems
s-
logical.
Yeah, you have to sell them by the box then.
Okay.
I only need one for this chick. Well, I guess you're buying a box. Supplied for the next year, there, homeboy. Good luck.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Do you have one for Maryland?
For Maryland, I do not.
Okay, well then you get to describe this position because
Yeah.
I'm still.
Well, Maryland is famous for crabs, and this position looks like a fucking crab.
It's
Maryland is famous for crabs.
it's called the crab.
Is it? That makes sense.
Why am I so itchy?
No, I mean like.
Gosh,
like,
are you guys itchy? I'm itchy. I feel
I'm
like
talking seafood. Like Maryland, people in Maryland go nuts for crabs. They have a thing with it. So
I feel like Mark should be sitting here like sprinkling Old Bay on this couple.
yeah,
for real. Yeah.
So
It looks like the dude looks like the letter M, basically. Like his ass is down, his knees are up, and he's got his hands down behind him. And then she's basically the same position, but in his lap, the opposite direction, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah. Can I just point out that every one of these makes me feel less and less like I'm in shape at all? Because looking at that, I'm like, God, that seems really like a lot of work.
It does.
Not only
It
a lot of work,
does.
but I keep going back to these people's arms. I just it's just the arms just stand out for me. They're so tiny and so
Yeah.
small, but they're like daddy long legs long.
Right.
Yeah, they look like they're gonna be like. Tick.
Plus, can I say that this position it doesn't look fun. It looks like something that you try once and never fucking do again because you can't get a good rhythm going
Yeah.
and it just sucks and your arms get tired and nobody had any fucking fun doing it.
Oh, absolutely! It looks like
You know?
a sex club bingo.
Yeah, you know what this
bingo
is? This
square.
is this is the relationship that you're the sex position that you do when the relationship initially starts and you're trying to really impress them.
Like
That's
swinger club twister.
Yeah, and you do this once and never again. Because that one drunken, like, I ate a bunch of shrooms and, you know, maybe did some blow and drank like 10 or possibly 12 margaritas kind of things. Like, that's what this seems like, is one of those nights you do this. And forever after, you're like, never again. No, I can't. I can't do that.
That's like a tripping on acid night. You don't do that shit unless you're on something.
That just looks like a Charlie horse to me. I'm gonna be honest.
It does.
It absolutely like
cramp.
Like cramps, cramp in the back and in the neck and the legs and
the shoulders. My God, her shoulders look so painful to me. Like,
you better have some fucking tacked rotator cuffs if you're in that position.
That's right. Yeah. And he better not have skipped leg day because he's bearing all of her weight on those bent knees of his.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
What do you got? Massachusetts.
Yep, Massachusetts.
I got a
state of Massachusetts.
I got a
state of massholes.
I got sodomy is still on the books as illegal.
As defined.
Defined probably pretty loosely, which is you know, like anything other than like missionary is sodomy in general in most places that have sodomy laws.
Right.
That seems totally appropriate for Boston. Oh, sure.
Okay.
No, you
wait,
can't.
Hold on.
There's places that even define like fingers in the pussy as sodomy because it's not what nature intended to go in there.
The law says sodomy is illegal. And then we have the official state sex position in Massachusetts.
I got one for another one for
position. Yeah, I'm familiar with this one.
Yeah, so in Massachusetts, sure, we got stuff in Massachusetts.
Wait, is she face down or face? Yeah,
she's face down. Yeah.
I like this one. I really like
making noise
this is
in
one of
public.
My favorite positions.
Making sexual noises in public. In a public library is a crime against, quote, chastity, morality, decency, and good order.
So keep Harry and Sally out of the public library in Massachusetts.
Yeah, apparently.
They don't have to be like, they're just sex noises. So like some kids joking around making fucking orgasm noises in the library, that's illegal.
Yeah, apparently. It's just making noises. It's not actually doing anything.
Right.
Just making the noises.
Just be quiet, whatever you do.
Just
So you can't take Lindsay. We all know that now.
Yeah, because she's way too loud. Although not now, because she's muted still, so, you know. But...
you learn to be a little quieter when you got a house full of kids, you know?
So, yeah, and the sex position in the state that is sodomy is still illegal. The sex position is the Paul Revere, which is she is laying on her stomach and he is kneeling over her, entering her from behind.
And her legs are together. His knees are on the outside. I fucking love this position. So I gotta say, this is one of my favorite positions.
The British are coming.
Yeah, the British are
everybody's
coming.
So
are
in this
we.
Position. Everybody's coming in this position. Yeah.
One if by land, two if by my Johnson.
Yes.
Oh. I think that one requires 4 lanterns.
If I D.
Yeah.
1 if I land, 2 if I D.
3 if by anal.
Oh. Where's my clown nose?
Oh my God. Why am I laughing so hard at that?
All right. Michigan, seducing or debauching an unmarried woman is a felony with a punishment up to 5 years in jail.
5 years for seducing an unmarried
Married
woman.
woman.
It's totally okay if she's married. Like,
Debauching.
dude, if you're cuckolding the other dude, awesome, great, we're fine with that. But if she's like a slut who's not married, yeah, now we're gonna have to go ahead and throw
Well,
you.
debauching was a term that was typically used for like deflowering a virgin, right?
Oh, so like if you're the
Outside of
high school
marriage,
foot,
like,
if
historically.
you're if you're the captain of the football team and you deflower the cheerleading, the captain of the cheerleading squad, we got issues. But if, however, you go ahead and bang the captain of the cheerleading squad's mom, now you're good.
Debauching.
She's married.
Yeah, debauching is defined as destroy or debase the moral purity of, or corrupt.
How do you even prove that? The moral purity, like, oh no, you should have seen this chick before me, man. I mean, she did things. Woo!
I think it's more the fact that if you de-virginize a chick.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it always meant historically. Like that was the intent of those phrases. So,
yeah, it was about deflowering, and it.
Yeah.
It's just
you got one for Michigan, Andrew.
I do. I have one other one than you do. Low riding pants that expose underwear for both men and women are a Class B offense, but if they expose actual butt cleavage, they are a Class A offense.
What?
Honey, we can't go to Michigan.
So, if a chick is going pantyless and wearing those super low rider jeans and bends over, she's guilty of a Class A misdemeanor.
So Michigan might take the most puritanical spot on our list. I mean, because this is just fucking ridiculous.
Oh, no, not the state of Michigan. It's so much better. Just in the city of Flint.
Yeah, we can poison your water, but you can't wear low-rise jeans.
But heaven forbid I see the ass crack of anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, do they have a plumbers union? Because I feel like if they did, they should have fought against this.
All right, Lindsay, describe that position for us?
All right, the official state sex position of Michigan is called the love glove.
The love glove.
It is super sensual. It's the guy sitting down, I'm assuming cross-legged, and the chick sitting on his lap facing him with her knees bent. So
I really like this one too.
It's a good one.
It's a super good one unless you're fat or the guy has a not huge dick, because
it's a good rabbit position where you just go.
Yeah, well, it's good for just like, I like that position for like slow and easy sex. You know what I mean? Just kind of chilling and
super
relaxing.
The really deep, passionate stuff that you're doing to like the stuff that's on like the YouTube channel, like Bell Music, like the kind of like soft techno-y remixes of romance songs thing, like that's what you're doing. That's what that position is for. Like you're making out a bunch, and you're like, oh my god, I love you. Oh my god, I love you too. Like that's that.
Yeah, like it's a romantic position in my opinion. Like there's an implied level of romance in this position. Sex is intimate anyways, but this like sitting upright face to face, doing it like pressed against each other, that's really intimate. You know what I mean?
However,
you guys need more clown suits in your sex life.
Because his legs are crossed, though, I need to bring up the vet bod thing and go, but my knees hurt simply looking at that right now, going, oh god, ow, ow, ow. Oh, my hips, my knees, oh Jesus.
Well, you can put your legs straight without changing it too much. You know?
Yeah, but then your feet
but then you pinch your balls and it just
Yeah. What? No, that's not a solution. That's not a solution at all. It's.
Well, I didn't mean straight in front of you, like straight to the sides, just like straighten your knees out from the cross-legged position.
I can't straighten my knees. Can you pull over the bed bod thing? I can't straighten my knees.
We'll get you a maternity pillow. You can put your leg up on that.
Yeah.
Boy, that's sexy. Let me grab my maternity pillow. Aren't you a dude? Yeah.
You need one of those like bolster pillows that they put on the beds in like India. You know what I'm talking about? Like the big round ones. Yeah. You need one of those.
The big round ones, thereby making me feel even more inadequate. I'm still not seeing where there's an advantage here.
All right. I got Minnesota. It says grabbing someone's clothed buttocks is not considered sexual assault, though lawmakers are working to change that.
Yeah, that's sexual assault.
You can grab ass in Minnesota, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as it's clothed. As long as it's clothed.
Clothed. Okay, it's got to be clothed. So if I grab a waitress's ass, acceptable. Stripper, not.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
I like the sex position.
The lumberjack, yeah.
I love that he's wearing a shirt for the lumberjack.
I think that's her.
No, it's him. It's him on top.
Is it him?
There are boobs.
Is it him?
Yeah, there are a little bit of boobs there on
really
the girl laying down there.
Okay, all right. I see boobs now.
So his legs are on the outside of hers, and he's on top. She's laying back. But what makes it the lumberjack is he's wearing what is most likely a plaid button-down shirt.
Yeah, with rolled up sleeves.
With rolled up sleeves. I have how many of those do I have, dear?
Probably about 15.
Yeah, I'm about a dozen flannel shirts also.
I have so many
flannels and yeah.
Kevin has a bunch too. So now lean him forward 45 degrees or even all the way down, and I love this position too.
Right.
This one is like, girls, ladies, if you need that clip being hit to get off, this is the fucking position that you want. I'm just saying. This one, but with him all the way forward. It's perfect. It's perfect.
We're so getting a fucking YouTube ban for this video.
You know, I do recommend using a little bit of extra lube, like, you know, over-the-counter lube or whatever in this position.
I don't know if Andrew just mentioned YouTube. Like, I don't know if you guys remember the old Rebel Love show with Rob and the Rebel Mistress out of New Hampshire, and they would talk about sex all the time. Like their catchphrase was like, "Sex, love, and coffee" or something like that. But like this is one of those kind of episodes that they would do, and I'm gonna have to send Rob Matthias. I'm gonna have to send him a copy of this one.
Right.
They'll appreciate it. Yeah.
So all right. Next we got Mississippi. What do you got?
This should be good.
In the number one in the country for being the worst state, Mississippi. The first one, which, brace yourselves, it is illegal to teach others what polygamy is.
Oh my God.
Okay, that's
so to even
so
explain.
Are dictionaries illegal in Mississippi?
Yes, because Mississippi, the home of the KKK and rebel battle flags being flown over state capitals that are in the United States, the home of Vicksburg, Grant's first major win, fell just completely prostrate before him. That state doesn't want you to tell people about fundamental Mormonism.
Right.
You can marry all your sisters, but you can't tell them why you're marrying all your sisters.
Yeah.
You can't explain what the word for that is, essentially.
Yeah, right. All right.
So if like, let's say Lindsay and I moved down there and with somebody else, and then we need to explain to somebody like why the three of us can't get married.
That's illegal. That's fantastic. Education is against.
No, because we're polyamorous, not polygamous.
Right, but if we needed to explain why we can't legally get married, the three of us.
Right. If you get married, then it's polygamy.
That polygamy is illegal. We would need to explain what polygamy was.
And that's illegal.
All right. What's the other one you got?
The other one I have is that adultery or premarital sex can result in a fine of $500 or 6 months in prison.
Jesus.
Holy cow.
And yet, aren't they leading the way on teenage pregnancy?
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Which goes along with mine. In sex education class, you are allowed to teach about contraceptives, but condom demonstrations are explicitly forbidden.
Yep.
So you can tell them about condoms, but you can't put one on a banana.
And God forbid you'd put one on multiple bananas.
Right.
Well, you could.
Illegal.
Could you show a video of somebody doing it? You just can't demonstrate it in the class.
That's all it says is it's demonstrations are banned.
I would assume that even video of it though is still showing a demonstration.
Yeah, it's still demonstrations.
So I guess so.
So the best you can do is be like, okay, guys, you're all teenagers. Girls, you're all wearing tank tops because it's still fairly warm here because it's Mississippi. Guys, look at them for about 5 minutes. Go ahead and go in the bathroom and try and ramp that down the shaft there. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And the official state sex position in Mississippi is the Southern Belle, which has the gentleman sitting on a chair and the lady sitting on his lap facing away from him. And
reverse cowgirl in a chair with his skirts on.
And with the Southern Belle skirt.
Being a fan of historical reenactment, I want to emphasize this is physically impossible.
Yes. With a hoop skirt, it absolutely is
physically impossible.
Now,
in fact, doing someone in a hoop skirt is physically impossible.
Yeah. Well, unless you want to throw the skirt all the way over their fucking head.
And then fold it the other way, yeah.
Right.
That's about all
then,
I got.
like, you turn her into, like, a fucking butterbell at that point, you know?
My pantaloons are showing.
I just look at this and I see, okay, so the official sex position of Mississippi is fucking a bride in her wedding dress? Like,
either way. So
in the state of Mississippi, that seems like the only thing that's fucking legal.
Probably.
True.
So remember, premarital sex is illegal in Mississippi.
I bet they have a high divorce rate. All right, Missouri. I got Springfield, Missouri has tragically banned side boob and under boob in public.
What the hell, you bunch of fucking prudes! You're ruining my summer fucking vacation.
Why don't you want people to be happy?
Yeah, I'm never going to Branson now, you assholes.
Only in Springfield. You can still go to Missouri, just not to Springfield.
Fuck you, Missouri. I'm even wearing your shirt, Missouri. I am even wearing your shirt. Because there's no fudge like the fudge from Uranus. Uranus has the best fudge.
Oh,
good lord.
But in Uranus, Missouri, at a fudge shop, I want to point out.
So what do you got? What do you got from Missouri?
The sex position.
Oh, Andrew, you don't have a law from Missouri?
Am I doing it? I thought Lindsay was going to do it, but okay, it's the show me, because Missouri's the show me state. So the show me is basically she's kneeling partially on him and partially on air because he's in a chair, and we all know how that pinches your thighs and is really uncomfortable. And reverse cowgirl. That's the position. And then he's like got his hands on her thighs and like railing her, even though we all know that your hands are going to migrate to her shoulders eventually, because of course they are. Let's not pretend.
Yeah.
Right.
It's kind of I would call this, rather than the show me, I would call it the show me how much you want that promotion, Ms. Johnson. Like, that's what this is.
So
this is the kind of thing that the secretary does to the boss in one of the chairs in the waiting room.
Right. Seated reverse cowgirl, essentially.
yeah.
Yep.
So all right. Next is Montana. I don't have one for Montana.
I do. Prostitution is a, quote, crime against the family.
Okay.
Because apparently families are the only ones affected by prostitution, and apparently dictating to people what they can and can't do with their body is... Yeah, it's how dare you use your body, your own body, which you own, in a way that you choose. It's affecting the family.
Okay.
So the family is a person in Montana. The family is your victim.
In a state where women outnumber men 2-1, at least,
Jeez.
and at one time, less than 100 years ago, outnumbered men more like 6-1.
In Montana, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Montana. It was Montana, Alaska, South and North Dakota, and there was, I want to say, like Wyoming, where like it's 6-1, like at the turn of the century, or just a little thereafter.
Jeez.
Yeah. So
For
and
women.
the official state sex position in Montana is the bear hug, which is the exact same position as Michigan's the glove.
Except
Yeah, the
it's
love glove.
apparently facing the other direction.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Did I say women to men? I meant men to women. So
yeah,
there's
men to
one
yeah,
man
Okay.
to 6 women.
Yeah.
There you go. That makes sense.
Or 6 women to 1 man. Or no, yeah, 1 man. What direction am I going here?
6 men to every woman.
Yes,
6 men.
that's what I was trying to say. God,
Yeah.
yes,
That makes sense because of like
yes.
those areas were still being settled at the turn of the century.
Way more men than there were women, but somehow prostitution was a crime against families.
Listen to how old we are. We keep saying the turn of the century, and another century has turned since what we think of as the turn of the century.
The turn of the last century, not this.
Yeah, there we go.
We're old.
1900.
So-
1900.
All right, what do you got? What do you got for Nebraska?
For Nebraska, you cannot legally get married in Nebraska if you have gonorrhea.
Yeah, that's what I have too. It says no one who is afflicted with a venereal disease is legally allowed to marry.
You got the clap?
I know that there's
Sorry, can't tie the knot.
some states. Yeah, I know there's some states that won't issue a marriage license unless you have a clean like STD check. So,
But if I've been with that person for 3 or 4 years and I got an STD that's uncurable, let's say I have herpes, right? Chances are either that person already has it or is unconcerned about the fact that they could get it.
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
So
Like, I just like, how are you're legislating based on my personal medical history? And the question is, how does the state know if my medical conditions are supposed to be private? How does the state know if I've tested positive?
I think it's so that like a wronged spouse who didn't know about the STD before the marriage, you know, maybe they waited and whatever, they could sue under this law.
yeah. So. Yeah. And the state sex position is the Cornhusker Shucker.
Which is basically the same thing
just
as we already saw.
cowgirl.
actually.
No,
Yeah,
she is on the bottom.
but she's on the bottom.
She's on the bottom.
She's on the
there's
bottom.
a boob there.
He's on top. His knees
There's a
are
boob.
outside her hips. We already went through this up above. Wasn't one of the other ones?
Yeah,
the same
it's
thing.
it's
Yeah.
it's the clit rubber. That
Yeah,
Derek
the one I
collects.
talked
Yeah,
about. As being one
we've
of
been
my
through this
favorites.
already. They're
No.
not very creative with these.
Yeah.
So
What
all
about
right,
you, Durex. Not that I've ever used your product, but Fuck you.
Yeah. So, all right. On to Nevada, we got while prostitution within licensed brothels is legal, these brothels cannot legally be within 400 yards of a place of worship.
So,
Huh.
no temples of Aphrodite is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
That's religious discrimination. What the fuck is that?
Isn't a brothel a place of worship? I'm just saying.
No, I mean, if they were closer to the church, you wouldn't have so many priests touching little boys. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Gosh, if priests could marry, you wouldn't have so many priests touching little boys, which is
For real.
That's a whole nother topic that we're not going to get into on this show. But
Yeah, this is supposed to be a fun show.
Yeah. So, and what do you got? You got a law?
I do, which is going to boggle your mind. So while prostitution is in fact legal in the state of Nevada, the sale of sex toys is not.
What? Now,
Sex
see, that's
toys.
the prostitutes union lobbying for law.
Thank goodness I still got my clown
Use
suit.
something to get off. It better be my ass.
Now, I've been to Vegas, and I'm going to tell you, sex toys get sold there, okay? They just have to, be called novelties or whatever
Yeah,
for, like,
novelties.
bachelorette parties
Yep,
and shit.
that is why they have to call them novelties, is because the actual sale of a sex toy is illegal. So instead, it is a joke sculpture.
Yep.
Yep, it's a novelty.
What you choose to do with that, where you choose to put the joke sculpture once you purchase it, is not their business.
Yep.
But legally, it is not in fact a sex toy. It is
A novelty item.
It's a sculpture, or they will call them marital aids, so that they don't qualify as a toy.
Right.
Yeah.
They will call it a marital aid, because if it's intended for married people in general, most states have exemptions for things intended to help married people in the bedroom. So they will actually be labeled marital aids to get around that law.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. That's how it is in Alabama, too. Alabama has an obscenity law against selling sex toys, but you can buy them as novelty items. And the sex position for Nevada is the Royal Flush, which is cowgirl, but he is leaning upward.
It's
And she's leaning back.
Yeah, it's cowgirl with his feet about to go numb, his knees hurting, and her just really loving it the whole time. And he's trying to pretend
her
knees, but
her knees are hurting too. All right, I'm just gonna tell you, her fucking knees are hurting too.
And if he has a really hard on, his dick is trying to push out her belly button.
Yep. And if she moves too far back, he's gonna get that, and it's gonna hurt.
Both of them are gonna be hurting if she moves too far back. If you slip out in that position, you're not finishing that night.
It even seriously, it hurts.
That position should be called like the lever in Fulcrum or something like that, because
it's the Royal.
Don't get me wrong.
Flush, it's a gambling thing. It's Nevada.
Yeah, it's a
gambling thing. There you go.
And I'll give you, that does feel amazing. And when a chick really, really gets into it and is like doing that, that's a good time. But it needs to be near the edge of the bed so that my knees are bent, hanging off of the bed, because otherwise. Hey, I'm going to get pins and needles.
Falling off the bed.
Then she's falling backwards if you do that.
She can suck it the fuck up, all right? You're that into it? Just deal with it. Swing
your
leg
better be
around, put
holding
it behind my
on
back, deal with it, hang on.
Support.
Just keep going. The serotonin will make the pain go away.
Yeah,
it'll be fine. All right, New Mexico, topless bars are a no-go, as, quote, indecent waitering is illegal.
Indecent
waitering.
So no bikini baristas in New Mexico.
Those sons of bitches.
Yeah.
Indecent waitering.
Indecent waitering sounds like a fun job.
I would like to be an indecent waiter. That sounds like a movie. Indecent proposal, indecent waiter.
All right, what do you got? What do you got for New Mexico?
Wait,
I have.
indecent waitering, but not indecent waitressing.
Oh,
Oh, there you go.
Loophole.
Oh, hey, all right. I have for New Mexico, which is not the one that comes next according to this, which is actually correct, but okay, whatever. Nudity is allowed as long as genitals and female nipples are covered.
So
And-
not
And
nudity.
as long as you're not delivering food, apparently.
That actually
Yeah.
means that New Mexico has a more open policy for nudity in public than Facebook does.
Yeah, it's
There
true.
you go. All right, and the you go ahead and do the position.
The alien, you actually have to be an alien for this to work by the looks of things.
Yeah, her
Yeah.
hips are way too far forward. Who the fuck is built like that?
And her shoulder is dislocated. I don't care.
No.
It is
And her
absolutely dislocated.
legs. That's like 10 minutes of that is like a month's worth of leg days for her. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Your thighs are gonna be fucking hurting.
he's pounding away at her back apparently. Either that or his dick is in the wrong place.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, that's
Try
you
rubbing.
know. So, fun fact here: cockroaches do not bother with figuring out where the hole is. They practice what is known as traumatic insemination, which is as horrifying as the term sounds. The male cockroach's penis is actually kind of more of an armored javelin that he simply shoves through the female's exoskeleton. Does his
Wherever
thing.
he can reach.
Yeah.
Yeah, does
all
his
the
thing.
all the arousal that we created in our listeners up to this point, you just killed.
I realize this. You know what? This exposition
For
did
some of
exactly
them.
the same thing for me.
Give me the Law and Order sound effect.
yeah,
For some of the listeners.
for some of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
New Hampshire. We skipped New Hampshire, New Jersey. I don't have
yeah,
one.
no.
so-
What? Let me finish what I was saying. So that is what this exposition looks like. Is this guy doesn't care if he gets it in the hole or not? He's just shoving it through wherever it's gonna go.
He's just poking her with it wherever.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
he can make
okay.
contact.
Okay. So what it essentially looks like is it starts out as cowgirl, but the guy's legs are raised to a bent 45-degree position. So, and her legs are bent to like, I don't know, what is that, like a 70-degree position? And then her arms are back over his legs, and it's just
Right. Her feet are on the floor, and her ankles are probably broken at this angle.
and her shoulder is dislocated.
Yes.
It has
And
to
he's
be.
not even. His hips are not even in a position to be entering her from the rear, or entering her rear. They are screwing her kidneys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
So
it is
easier way to
literally-
describe this is her butt is about midway up the belly
on
of
his
him.
belly button. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
it's on
best-
his belly
Like
button.
she's
The
like
best she could get at this point is like some butt cleavage action.
it's,
You know?
it's a lumbar puncture.
Yeah. Essentially.
So.
She's just breaking wind directly into his belly button. And you know what? If you're into that, I'm not here to kink shame. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
Let's-
I'm just
let's-
saying
don't
that is
sue
not
us,
a
R.
sex
Kelly.
position.
All right.
Yeah.
We skipped New Jersey, New Hampshire. I don't have one for either, but I'm sure.
Okay, I have one for each.
Okay.
In the state of New Jersey, and I hope Tara's listening, Miss New Jersey. In the state of New Jersey, flirting is illegal in Haddon Township.
Huh.
Okay.
It's so weird.
That is
Just flirting.
that is a nice position though.
Hey, baby, how you doing tonight? Jail. Like,
That's a really good position on a weight bench, by the way.
yes, the dirty jersey is. I enjoy that position. That is a good position.
Yeah.
Yes. It's fun.
That is the female is in the mood and she's gonna take it.
Yep.
Like
yeah, you're not doing her. She's doing you.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, that is a very good position. The guy is laying on an elevated platform. I assume it's a bed or something, and his legs are dangling off, and she is.
Well, this is Yeah, this is best on something really narrow, so her feet can be on
Like
the ground on both sides.
Weight bench.
like a weight bench.
Yeah, just
Yep.
like a weight bench.
Or
Yeah.
one of those fantastic love lounges. Just
And her
And I'm
and her
not saying we have a
boobs?
home gym in the basement, but I'm also not saying that.
and her boobs are in the perfect position for his mouth. She's
And-
in the perfect position where
yeah, and in this one, the dirty jersey, the gentleman's hands are over his head, and she is holding onto, or pinning
Yeah.
essentially pinning his hands over his head.
and she's
Yeah.
pinning his wrist down. She's owning him. He's gonna call her daddy. That's kind of the position
That's right.
It is
that's
a good.
happening.
It is
That's
a
a
fun.
fun one.
I'm pretty sure my kids were conceived in that position.
Yeah, at least
Oh.
one of mine probably was.
All right. The next one is New Jersey
No, we just did New Jersey. You
No.
mean
or
New
New
Hampshire.
Hampshire. New Hampshire.
All right, so the nude hamster is
I bought a gerbil at the petting zoo.
lingerie
Whammy winks. Sorry.
in Kitterville, New Hampshire. Lingerie must not be hung on a clothesline at the airport unless there is a screen concealing it.
A clothesline at the airport, not in like property adjacent to the airport, but at the fucking airport.
So if you're
So
going
is that,
into
like,
a
for
coat check and you're like,
stewardesses that are like,
Well, sometimes you have to air them out before you jump on a plane for 12 hours.
I mean, like, let's say you're doing a walk of shame to the airport and you're like, you know what? Shit, I forgot that I had this teddy on. You change in the bathroom real quick and you want to go ahead and just hang that up at the coat check. Not allowed unless
Or
there's a
if
screen.
you want to like wash it real quick before you put it in your bag, and you can't like hang it up in the bathroom or whatever.
You
Is that-
had a
were
long
too many people
layover.
taking like
So,
toe baths in the New Hampshire airport? Is that what was happening?
You know, maybe you have a long layover and you decide to make it a layover, if you know what I'm saying. Like maybe,
Yeah.
you know, that's
Give us the sound effect. You want to make your layover into
make it
a
a layover.
so, and yeah, this is another one of those positions that neither of the girls in attendance could do, because their boobs would kill them. Number one.
Yes. No, yeah, I know from personal experience. I know I can't fucking breathe in this position.
Also,
So-
my legs aren't long enough, nor are my arms.
So yeah,
I'd
this
have
is
to like crouch weirdly for this to work, and
yeah.
that doesn't
So
seem
this
fun.
this is the White Mountain Observatory. The gentleman is standing straight up and the woman is bent over, but her legs are spread and behind him, like at a 45-degree angle, and her arms are on the ground also, or her hands are on the ground also.
Yeah,
so.
she's kind of playing London Bridge, and he's railing her, and
She'd have to be at least a half a foot taller than him to make this fucking work.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, or
Yeah.
he'd have to be like standing in a hole, like
Right.
to-
Yeah.
Well, he's in a hole, but like
no, I mean like his feet would also have to be in a hole.
Yeah.
he
Different
could be using his foot. I mean, don't kink shame him.
I mean, but you know, like I have to object to this though, because if it's called an observatory, shouldn't he be looking up at the stars?
Yeah.
Like as she's suffocating from her own boobs, just going, "Oh, it's so beautiful tonight." Like,
Well, she has a brown star that you can see from that position.
I suppose.
Oh,
And girls,
gotcha.
if you think that guys don't look at your butthole while we're behind you,
We absolutely do.
we do.
look at it, play with it,
Awkward.
you know.
Yeah, you know, like if you hear the sound, that's because he wet his finger and get ready for the shocker. That's what's
That's
happening.
right.
So,
Yeah.
all right. New York, I got adult businesses must devote no more than 40% of their square footage to adult entertainment.
What?
Yeah,
What?
that's what it says. Adult businesses must devote no more than 40% of their square footage to adult entertainment.
That does explain the very open aisles in porn shops in New York.
Yeah. Or are they talking about like strip clubs can't sell sex toys in more than 40% of the establishment?
I don't
like
know.
that kind of thing.
I have no
I
idea.
guess that would fit
I think
too.
I think what they're saying is if you're selling porn, you also have to rent like Old Yeller. That's kind of what they're getting at.
Yeah.
Huh.
Nobody can
Like-
stay erect through Field of Dreams. All right. What do you got for New York?
The Yankee, we have the Yankee, which doesn't seem to have any bearing on anything Yankee at all.
Should be
Anyway.
called the fucking Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah, I mean, what the hell is that? This isn't the Yankee. This is the prayer that he doesn't drop you. That's what this is.
Yeah, this is the prey. He's got a firm grip.
Yeah,
'cause-
and you're gonna get sweaty and you're gonna drop her. This is gonna happen, and then she's gonna, break her back.
And
so
who
he's-
provides the motion in this position?
Right.
I think he does.
You think?
I think
Okay.
he does by his arms. Like he's just pulling back and forth. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So you better not have bad shoulders because they're gonna get pulled out.
Yeah. Oh
And
no.
this
Most of these sex positions, I look at and go, can't do that. Can't do that.
Yeah.
That's
that.
And
this is
this
it's
is
one of
another one
those-
where you don't want to slip out while you're doing
Yeah.
this.
Oh, if
Concussion. is what-
yeah. So yeah, it is the Yankee. The gentleman is sitting in the chair. She is facing him, but she is leaned over into a horizontal position, and he is holding her up with his arms.
Yeah, and her legs are just like thrown past his hips.
I have done this position, and it lasted about 25 seconds
Yeah.
before she's sitting back up. Because one, all of the blood is in fact rushing to your head because you don't have the neck strength to hold your head up in that position.
No.
And two, because there is no damn way I'm going to do all of the work with just my triceps.
yeah, and there's also
and
no
and
damn
shoulders.
way.
And shoulders and upper back, and it's a
Right.
killer.
And there's
Yeah.
also no damn way that she's really getting any kind of fucking pleasure out of that.
No.
I don't
Yeah.
see it.
It's purely like so that he can look at himself entering or being like inside you kind of thing, and hoping that he
Yeah.
doesn't go like
Right.
that's
Yeah. So all right. Next on the list, we got I got North Carolina.
North Carolina. I've lived there too.
North Carolina. There is a real city named Hornytown, and massage parlors are hilariously illegal there.
Massage parlors are illegal in Hornytown?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Don't forget though, North Carolina is not only the place of Hornytown, but also Bear Cave and Bald Hop.
You guys, for some reason, you say Horny Town, and my mind goes to Lazy Town, and
All
now I'm watching all the Lazy Town characters
All right.
massaging
you guys-
each other
you guys-
in my head.
Won't you take me to? I have to go pee real quick, so you guys keep going.
All right.
And I was actually gonna go grab booze, but okay, so Hornytown, North Carolina. Jeez, yeah, like I said, that's
Sporticus and Robbie Rotten. Yeah.
Won't you take me to Hornytown?
Horny Town. Oh my god. Kevin would. I can't imagine what he would do if I
you
sang
have
that
2
to him.
tickets on the train to Hornytown.
No, seriously, your train leaves in 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, really, it's still Hornytown. Please get the fuck out of my house. I already called an Uber. It knows where it's going. Just get in.
Yes. Oh, that's so fucking absurd.
I use the guy regularly. His name is Stan. Great guy. Please give him a 5.
All right.
Oh,
All right.
Okay. So
So
Hornytown,
that's-
North Carolina. I have one for North Carolina. Adultery is illegal, but so is pretending to be married in order to share a hotel room.
What?
Wait, you have to be married to share in a hotel room?
Right, you have to be married to share a hotel room because to share a hotel room and you're not married indicates that you're probably going to commit adultery. Oh God, you're living in sin.
And that's in North Carolina.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is in North Carolina. Pretending to be married is also a separate law that is also illegal.
That is
Jeez.
also as retarded as the first one.
And the sex position seems like it's something that married people would come up with to try and be spicy.
Well, that's like the stacked plank, essentially.
Yeah, it's called the tight squeeze, and everybody's like moving less than a quarter inch.
Yeah,
in the
because
sex
his
position.
legs are not like on the bed next to her; they are laying directly on top of her legs.
Actually, I've been staring at this to try and figure out how this one works, and I think he actually is on a knee. One knee is actually bent.
Oh, you think that's a knee there? That's
Yeah.
okay.
I think that's her body.
No, because her arms are going up, her legs are going back, and I can see a little bit of her other foot. So I'm assuming
Are
that's
her are her arms? Is her arm bent backwards?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
She's suffocating in the bed.
Yes.
Like
This
she's literally being choked out by her tits on this position.
Like I
She's-
think
Yeah.
this is necrophilia.
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's
This
like
is-
all of his weight on her chest, pressing her face down into the mattress.
Good Lord, am I too fat for this position?
Yeah.
I would murder anyone who
So,
attempted.
all right, what do you got? What do you got next? North Dakota.
North Dakota, it was illegal in North Dakota to swim naked in the Red River between the hours of 8 a.m. and 8 p.m.
Oh, so you can skinny dip at night, just not during daylight
Yeah,
hours.
Exactly. Well, to be fair, this is specific to the city of Fargo.
Yeah, Fargo.
People
I have-
actually skinny dip in Fargo? Like, that doesn't seem practical to me.
Well, first of all, Fargo is almost directly west of where I'm at. So,
I guess it can get hot in the summer, so okay.
yeah. But so basically June, July, August, after 8 p.m., you can totally skinny dip if you're so inclined. If you're a woman, probably not a big deal. If you're a guy, I would worry about pike.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
pike and shrinkage.
They're gonna grab
Lots-
your worm.
Lots of shrinkage. That water's not
Yeah.
warm.
Yeah,
No.
it's not. And if you've ever seen like a muskie or a pike or a tiger muskie, those
That's a
teeth-
whole lot of teeth.
Yeah, they are not a joke.
Yeah.
They're not a joke. You don't want to dingle your berries in front of that as bait, let me tell you, because
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
you are going to turn into a castrati relatively quickly. You're going to be singing soprano. It's
So
Yeah.
all right, and the sex position is the Rough Rider.
it is.
looks
I,
like
do-
she's
I have another one
power
though
walking,
from Grand
but on
Forks.
his dick.
It is
Right.
it is the reverse cowgirl, and it looks like she's swinging her arms.
Is she trying to stay on for the full 8 seconds? Is that what's happening right now?
I think she's using her arms to like give herself momentum. You know, like power walking. You know how people like throw their arms forward
In
and back?
what direction of momentum is she trying to move herself with that arm position?
Well, I mean, just like hopping, like, you know, up and down. Like,
It's a
Who
scoot.
hops
It's
like
a,
that?
It's a
Nobody
scoot.
hops
No,
like
it's,
that.
it's a scoot back and forth.
Yeah.
I
Is
think.
she trying to get away from his?
Finding-
What? I don't understand.
I
What
don't-
is?
I don't either.
I don't get it.
It's literally
Um,
it's like reverse cowgirl, but there's like bees flying around.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I got it. I know what it is. No. I know what it is. So it's reverse cowgirl, and then she's trying to like act like she's holding the rope and slap her own ass simultaneously.
Oh,
Yeah,
maybe.
that makes sense.
She's like, "Yeehaw! Ride it, Big Daddy!"
But
Andy's
Andy's gonna get in the way of her.
I expected this position, the Rough Rider, quote unquote. Like I expected that like a cowboy hat to be involved.
You have to play
Yeah.
Lee Greenwood's "God Bless the USA" while you're doing this position.
Yeah, if you are not,
It's
if you are not
mandatory.
if you are not drunk on PBRs, having fired off a bunch of illegal fireworks
Bottle
and
rockets.
belt-fed machine gun just prior to this, while listening to Toby Keith at 120 decibels and wearing a cowboy hat, you are doing this wrong.
Yes.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
all right.
Un-American communist son of a bitch. Now, I do have one more for North Dakota. In Grand Forks, North Dakota, it is against the law to fail to confine a dog or cat that is in heat.
Huh. Okay.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
another dumb one.
That's another dumb one.
Oh, that is an interesting position for Ohio.
Right.
Ohio.
Yeah, Ohio. I got it is illegal for a stripper to touch a patron, and then it mentions that Stormy Daniels was arrested for this.
What a
last year.
load of shit. No patron wants a stripper to not touch them. There is no human being
They
who
literally-
enters a strip club ever who does not want the stripper to touch them.
But Ohio wants it to be exhibition only, no sexual contact, essentially.
And that is
So.
boring.
Why wouldn't I just watch twerk videos on YouTube at that point? Like, I don't.
Yeah.
It's cheaper.
What the fuck is wrong with you? No, that is lame.
Well, you have to do it while in a sauna, so you get the heat and you sweat and the smell.
You got to be listening to Salt and Pepper.
Right.
With a flashlight on strobe right next to your eyeball.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
You
in
can
Ohio,
recreate the whole experience for pennies on the dollar, essentially.
Yes, exactly.
With bath salts and a jar of peanut butter, you're good.
Something like that. We're not going to talk about what Jason does on the weekends. So,
It was
So the
one time. It
position-
was one time, and the charges were dropped.
those people all received court-ordered counseling. The state paid for it. Anyway, so Ohio, no person shall solicit sex from another of the same gender if it offends the second person.
What? How do you know unless you try?
So, Ohioans, if you suspect that guy might be a twink, be absolutely sure before you hit him up.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, and that position is interesting.
This one, they didn't draw it well because, again, they've got them set up so he's like giving her the fucking lumbar puncture.
Right.
So they didn't draw it well. But if she's like further up and her head is like
You have
above
to
his.
describe it for the listeners.
Okay, he's laying on his back and she's laying on her back on his chest with her legs bent. And so if she scooted further up, like his chin is resting on her shoulder, essentially, depending on how tall the people involved are. It can be kind of fun, but it's not something that you put into regular rotation because it's not, I don't know, it's not super effective and it does hurt my thighs.
All right. Next we got Oklahoma. That's
Oklahoma.
Interesting position also. I got distracted. Okay, the law is sex education instructors must, against scientific evidence, teach students that, quote, engaging in homosexual activity is primarily responsible for contact with the AIDS virus.
Oh my god.
Huh.
Yeah, it's
They are purposefully like making children think that being gay is gonna get you AIDS.
yes, that's the law in Oklahoma. So,
What's the law? I missed out grabbing a cocktail.
Oklahoma, during sex education, they have to teach that homosexuality leads to AIDS.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
Apparently,
Oklahoma.
it is the early 1980s.
It's Oklahoma. It's Bible Belt. It's
Yeah.
Oklahoma, where the intelligence doesn't really exist.
So.
Okay,
Alright.
but the Oklahoma sex position looks actually kind of fun.
The Twister.
Yeah,
I
it's like
tell-
seated reverse cowgirl, but it's on a spinny stool.
That's fun. That does seem fun. I have a law for Oklahoma, by the way. So, in Oklahoma, it is illegal for the owner of a bar to allow anyone inside to engage in, quote, acts or simulated acts of sexual intercourse, masturbation, sodomy, bestiality, oral copulation, flagellation, or any sexual acts which are otherwise prohibited by law.
So you can't even simulate.
Read what was that first sentence again?
Yeah.
It is illegal for the owner of the bar to allow anyone inside to engage in acts or simulated acts of sexual intercourse, masturbation, sodomy, bestiality, oral copulation, flagellation, or any sexual acts which are otherwise prohibited by law. Which means if you know that this couple is going to grind on the dance floor, you cannot let them in under law.
That's what I was just thinking about, like dancing. So many, like even older styles, like Grease. You guys remember the big dance at the end of Grease? Yeah. And like the teachers that are shocked at all these like overtly sexual dance moves and shit. Like that's Oklahoma as those teachers.
The Humpty dances. Okay.
To do the hump.
For this sex move, I can't tell if the stool is supposed to be turning or if he is turning her.
The stool, because the arrows go all the way around.
Yeah, I think that's
how is he going to turn her? How long is his dick? What?
Yeah,
well,
I mean, if she had no legs.
Yeah, and you got the position is called the twister. Oklahoma is tornado territory.
Right.
Yeah,
so they're spinning around.
And the irony here is they're apparently
pretend
sitting
that you were boning
on a bar stool,
and a tornado picked you up. Yeah, on a bar stool, a spinning stool. Yeah.
But how? Like her? What's the movement there? Like her feet aren't touching the ground.
Yeah,
so
I don't think either of their
spinning.
feet are, except for his when he like spins the thing again.
I think the goal here is simply to make her so dizzy that she doesn't realize how inadequate you are.
And I don't think they're.
She's like, oh my god, it was so good that my head spun. And
I don't think they're actually fucking. This is just like an insertion and then spin on the stool, just staying still, trying to stay together.
I need a stool
on the stool. Yeah.
All right, what's next? We got Oregon. I don't have one for Oregon.
In Oregon, which I'm going to pronounce as Oregon because I know it pisses people from Oregon off. And
Andrew, I'm gonna fucking strangle you.
I have fun with that. It is illegal to lie down in a public restroom and for two people to share a stall that is meant for one.
So the girls can't go to the bathroom at the same time.
Really?
Well, you can't share a stall.
So
yeah, but we do that all the time.
A girl who is currently puking into the toilet needs to be left on her own in Oregon.
Huh.
Okay.
And when she passes out, she is committing a misdemeanor by laying down on the bathroom floor.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't have one for Oregon, but we're going to make Derica do the position.
Why
the
is
Oregon Trail?
Why? Why is
this? Because it looks like he's pushing a fucking wagon.
We gotta sow them crops, Martha, or we're gonna starve come winter.
I love this position though. I do. So she's face down on the bed. I don't like how they drew her arms. Again, her shoulders are fucking dislocated. But she's face down on the bed with her legs hanging over the edge, and he's standing behind her, and he's holding her legs up and railing her from behind. See, now, I like that position. I do, but his hands shouldn't be on her knees. They should be on her hips.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm just saying. Yeah.
That's another one of those positions where the guy does all the work, and he's going to get at it.
No, his hands should be on her wrists, grabbing them, pulling them behind her back.
No,
nice
he should have one hand holding up her hip and the other one in her hair, pulling.
No, he should have one hand on the cuffs that are binding her wrists and the other one on her hair.
That one.
Maybe.
That way she can breathe.
All right. Next we got Pennsylvania. I know that position. Pennsylvania is condoms cannot legally be sold in vending machines ever.
What?
That's what it says. Condoms cannot legally be sold in vending machines ever.
So if you go to a bar in fucking outside of an Amish town, you best be planning on bringing your own boxes there, Jeb.
Yeah.
So you got one from Pennsylvania?
I do. In Pennsylvania, oral and anal sex are technically illegal, and you cannot cohabit with an, and I quote, ancestor or descendant.
Okay.
Jeez.
An ancestor or descendant.
So
What
your
exactly
parents or your
means is
children.
left open.
Yeah. So
Parents, grandparents, children, grandchildren.
Cannot live in the same house as their kids or grandkids.
Which means there's only a kid. Because you can't have sex if there's children in the house. So once you have one, too bad. That's it. That's all you get.
all right, and we're gonna make Lindsay do the position for this one.
Of course we do. All right. So basically, it's doggy style, except for the guy is
You have to say the name.
The quarry drill.
The quarry drill, yeah. He's straight up.
Kevin says this one's hard on his legs, but I fucking love this.
Yeah, this is the I'm going to pound you until your eyes roll back in your head position.
Yes.
Yeah. Or until your eyes pop out of the socket.
Normal position.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it is.
But it's doggy style with the guy leaning over you. Basically.
Up on his feet though. Like not on his knees.
Up on his feet.
Yeah, he's doing the one leg up thing.
Oh yeah.
So he's got the real leverage in the right angle, and he's just pounding her.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So this is now, apparently, thanks to Lindsay, also learn lots about Andrew and Lindsay night. So.
Oh, like you weren't exhibitionists.
I was going to say, my mom is going to be watching this episode because I specifically told her what it was about, and she's like, oh, that's going to be great. So, my mom gets to know way too much about my sex life.
Awesome. So now your mom now gets to be aware of the fact that I pound your face into the fucking mattress. Thanks for that. That's.
She won't listen this far in.
That'll make the next family barbecue a little awkward.
Yeah.
So, all right. Next, we got a Rhode Island. I don't have a law for Rhode Island.
I actually don't either. I don't think it's a state big enough to fucking matter, to be honest with you.
So that's that position though.
It's the Providence penetrator. Oh my god!
You said it. Now describe it.
Penetrator.
Oh, this one. Lean him forward just a little bit, and this one is perfection.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the you're gonna have to move 4 states away, legally change your name to get away from her position.
Yeah, because you pushed the psycho button. It's all the way up in there, and you reached it. Yeah.
That's the. I'm sorry. Was your cervix healing from the last time? Let me go ahead and rebruise it.
Yeah.
Position.
Let's see if we can dislocate this hip.
Yeah. That's the one that
her
is
on
the
her
position.
back, legs up. Yeah.
I'm not going to go into detail, but I will give you a roundabout. That is the position for the one-handed sneak around with the single finger position. You know what I mean. I don't need to go into details. You look at it, you know.
So all right,
that's the we're both getting pregnant tonight position. Yeah.
You got it. I didn't know. Okay. Next we got South Carolina. And I got it is illegal to seduce someone using the promise of marriage.
Oh my
baby,
God.
I love you. I love you. I'm gonna we're gonna get married. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. Jeez. I mean, these days, how is that even relevant these days? I mean, everybody's easy these days. You
Yeah.
really need to fucking.
What do you got? What do you got for South Carolina?
For South Carolina, the deep South.
Deeper.
Deep South.
Deeper.
The kind of South where numbers that have more than 2 digits get complex. If a man promises to marry a woman and she sleeps with him, the marriage must legally take place. So it's the same law,
Same
just
law.
phrased more according to the law, the way it reads.
Yeah.
You can't, if you say, we'll get married, and she believes that you're going to get married, and then you have sex, you cannot back out of the proposal.
Right.
Yeah. So, all right, and the sex position is the same as the quarry drill.
Yeah.
It's
Up on her
called
hands
It's the
instead of
myrtle
on her
turtle.
elbows.
it's
Yeah,
called
she's up on her hands instead of
Yeah.
her elbows.
so yeah, it's called the myrtle turtle.
It's it's kind of more of the I don't actually understand how to get that arch in my back yet version.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah. It's
Yeah.
It's the it's
Ass
the
up,
it's
elbows
it's
down.
it's the
face on the bed.
amateur the
Yeah.
amateur position.
Ladies, fucking back should be downward arch, not upward,
Yep.
downward arch.
Downward
Look,
dog.
Through
I'm
the better.
telling-
Downward dog.
Knees should be below you and slightly forward, and from the tits to the tip of your fingers, you should be touching the bed.
Yes.
All right.
Agreed. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. South
Downward
Dakota.
facing dog, but he's
Yeah, if you are
fucking
not screaming into the mattress, you're
or
doing
no,
it wrong.
down his-
Yeah.
Prayer
South
pose or whatever.
South Dakota. I got a really good. You got one for South Dakota?
I do.
All right. It better not be the same as mine, because I'm gonna let you go first.
Public erections are illegal.
Another one.
Wait, hold on. It is illegal to use a covered wagon in any way for the purpose of prostitution.
That's still a law. That's still a law on the books.
I bet those fucking gypsy hookers are pissed.
Oh.
Oh. So
Yeah.
just uncover your wagon. Uncover your
Yeah.
wagon, and you can use it.
It's
Yeah.
it's not a wagon, it's a truck. And the sex position is the Rushmore Slammer, which is just cowgirl.
Yeah.
Except
It is
it's the chick
boring.
on the bottom.
And yet again,
Oh, is it?
Oh,
the
is
chick
it the
on
chick
bottom?
on the bottom or
Oh,
Yeah,
it is.
it has tits on the bottom.
Oh, God,
Yeah,
these
there's a boob.
yet again, it's
Stupid
the
little
dude
finger-
with his knees on the outside of the chick's hips,
Yeah.
banging her. She's laying down. I don't understand why every fucking sex position has to either be a variation of doggy style or a variation of the dude with his knees on the outside of the chick's
Yeah.
hips. Like somehow this magically makes it spicier than if her legs are spread. Because let me
Yeah.
tell you, fellas, if her legs are spread
it-
wide enough, it's better.
No, this position, this is the one that I said if he leans like all the way forward, you get like really tight slide in this position. So
Yeah,
it can
you're
be
not-
really fucking good.
Yeah, you're not spelling coke.
You're not going fast.
Yeah, you're not
Yeah,
spelling
you gotta
coke
go
in that
slow.
position.
Well, yeah, because otherwise
Yeah,
you're
I know.
gonna chafe. You're both gonna chafe. Like
That's why I said use lube, Andrew.
Yeah.
That's why
I don't
said
ever
use
use lube with Lindsay, Derica.
Next
Well,
one's good- next one's
okay.
a good one.
Some lube is slicker, because it's a little different than, yeah.
Yeah.
We
Anyways.
haven't. It's just not been used.
So, all right, we got a Tennessee. I got in Skullbone, a woman may not quote pleasure a man who is operating a motor vehicle.
Wow, no
roadhead.
roadhead. What a load of shit.
Ah.
That is
Oh, but a
bullshit.
man
That
can
is
pleasure
chocolate
a
frosted
woman.
bullshit.
But a man can pleasure a woman who's operating a motor vehicle. It specifically says a woman cannot pleasure a man who is
Well, I
operating a
mean-
motor vehicle.
To be fair, it's slightly more difficult.
So,
I mean,
You can use your
like,
fingers. It's all right.
Oh,
it's not like I've
that's
never.
why. That's why trucks. If you have a truck and you have a center divider, you're doing it fucking wrong. If you have to get rid of that center divider,
You need that bench seat.
you have to have a bench seat so
yeah,
she can scoot all
the
the way
divider.
next to you.
The divider in my Ram hasn't been folded down since the day I bought it. Like, it's always been up. That's always up. But I mean, like, if a woman's driving, my biggest concern from experience, if a guy is driving, for the most part, he can concentrate on the road and ignore what's going on.
That's
But
like
woman,
an evolutionary leftover. They actually did brain scans about this. Like, women, their entire brain, like their whole mind becomes involved in the act of sex when they orgasm. But men, there's still an alert part of their brain that is not involved.
right? Because I might
orgasm.
need to fend off a saber-toothed fucking tiger. I don't know.
Right.
So, like,
Yeah.
but women, you go down on them while they're driving, you probably gonna get in an accident, motherfucker. Like, it's
Guaranteed.
close.
All I'm saying, self-driving cars, problem solved. Yeah.
I've gone down on women while they were driving, and it was far scarier than when they were going down on me.
Yeah.
Well, that's
All right.
because you were in control of the car when they were going down.
All right.
No, it
somebody
wasn't even
get
that.
to
It
this.
was just all over the road. What state
Yeah.
were we on? I don't even remember. We were on Tennessee. Students may not legally even hold hands in school during school hours.
Holy
God.
Bible Belt, Batman.
Yeah, for real. And speaking of Bible Belt, what's this sex position? It looks like a priest raping a little boy on an altar or something.
Yeah, it does.
It's the sideways guitar.
Oh, because he's okay. So her leg is supposed to be like the fret, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's going. That's
On her nipple.
Yeah.
He's got a hand on her.
no, the
bosom.
nipple's the fret. He's stroking the proper place.
Huh.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
his hand is
Just-
holding up her leg, and it looks like he's holding a guitar.
Do you think that he might occasionally need to pick her up and shake her to make sure he gets the pick back out? Guitar players
All right.
know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He's like standing behind her. She's laying on a bed on the edge.
It's not really possible to do this.
No,
No, it is.
All right.
It is possible to do that, but
But not
it
standing
needs
up
to be-
straight like that.
it needs to be a very, very, very specifically built table that's at exactly the right height.
And he needs to have a really long dick.
Yeah, you need to be you're and not only long enough but curved correctly
Right.
Yeah.
to
all right.
to do this.
All right. Next, we got good old Texas.
Everything's bigger in Texas except
Well-
our IQs.
Yeah. All right. I got anyone who has 6 or more quote obscene devices, dildos, is presumed to possess with the intent to promote obscenity, and promoting obscenity is illegal.
So if
Jesus
you just
Christ.
can't decide on which one you wanted when you showed up and you're like, give me one of those, couple of those, one of those.
I'm a criminal in Texas, I guess.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Like, you're clearly trying to be obscene here at this point. Like, you know how many women wind up accumulating 10 dildos over the course of their lifetime? Like,
And what?
Like way more.
And again, we go back to what constitutes a dildo. Like, is
Right,
it any penetrable or penetrating device? Because then you got like butt plugs, and you got like different sizes and training plugs, and
And you got those little internal vibrators, like the little egg-shaped ones and
Mhm.
things like that.
which it can be equipped with Bluetooth and equipment
Yes.
remotely.
Yes.
God
God bless
you have a law for Texas.
I do. Same thing. It is illegal to own more than 6 dildos. Specifically, women. For women, it is illegal to own more than 6. For
Yeah.
men, it is more than 10. For women, it is more than 6.
Okay. And the sex position is
The
predictably
10-gallon hat, which is...
Cowgirl with a hat on.
a cowgirl with a
Well,
cowgirl
her
hat.
one leg is slightly more forward. Maybe she's bouncing slightly
Yeah.
to an angle.
I think there's a rodeo factor here.
Well, obviously,
So,
yeah.
Yeah. Next we got Utah. Oh, that position. Okay.
Yep. I can work with that.
Utah. I got in Tremonton, you cannot legally have sex while riding in an ambulance.
Wait, that was
Did-
an issue?
Like,
Did
don't
this-
tell me how to live, bro.
Was
Did
this a
come
problem
up
there?
Often? Yeah,
Yeah.
like
You
was
cannot
this a thing that people needed to have addressed? Where
Don't
they
tell
were
me how to
like,
live my life.
yeah, like, oh, I was just in a major car accident. Hey, you're pretty cute. Like, what exactly?
It just reminds me of the whole thing of don't have sex once your water breaks, which means because they have a rule and they have to say it, somebody has done it.
Yeah.
Instead of like,
What's
oh,
the
Scrooge, I really want to get laid now.
what's that redneck
Yeah.
comedian's line? Sure would be a sin, or sure would be a shame if we wasted this semi-private room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, okay, now
Foxworthy.
Yeah, that
I
was
will
Jeff
give
Foxworthy.
you my ex-girlfriend Desiree, the mother of my twins, whose name is, I shit you not, spelled desire with an apostrophe over the E.
Yep.
That's her
Because-
actual name.
That is
Yes.
her legal name that is on her birth certificate.
And is she the one that was a stripper?
Nah.
Desiree was never a stripper, but she was a massive exhibitionist. No, it was Misty who was a stripper. Desiree
course.
was a major exhibitionist. I also have exes named things like Candy and Crystal.
Of course you do.
Yep, I have
So,
a type.
all right, and
Anyway, where was I going with that? I actually had a point, and then he got me distracted.
you were gonna talk about the
I don't know, but
position-
it's almost midnight.
Yeah, I'm
so
fucking.
I gotta go soon.
We've been here for 3.5 hours now, or
Yeah.
3 hours now. So
2.5 hours.
Yeah, almost.
yeah, let's get to
But,
it.
all right.
All
The
right.
third wife is pretty awesome,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, the position is called the third wife, which is again a cowgirl variation, but
It's cowgirl, but he's leaning back with his legs up on a chair for no apparent actual reason. Maybe more support
Oh,
for her so she can do more
I
work.
think he's got leverage to thrust in that position.
Oh, yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
If
All right, I
if
see
would try.
what you're saying. Yeah. Mine is
He
it's
could
legal-
shoot her right off of there in that position.
God,
She should be wearing a cowboy hat.
Pew!
she could transition from sex to oral in like 1 second flat.
Yeah,
Oh,
you just need to give her a little bump. Yeah.
Oh.
All
All
right.
right, what's
in Utah, in Utah, I got two of them. It's illegal to marry your first cousin before the age of 65 or 55 if you can prove that both parties are infertile.
Huh.
That's
It
the
is
same here in
also
Wisconsin, actually.
that's kind of common, but an adult cannot show, quote, sex paraphernalia to a minor unless they are their own child in Salt Lake City.
So no sex ed
my
in
goodness.
schools, but parents.
If you want to show
It's weird
kid
for
a
parents to show
dildo,
that stuff to kids.
yeah, if you want to show a kid a dildo, they had better be your own kid.
Good lord.
Well,
right.
okay,
Salt Lake City.
yeah. What do we got? Virginia
How
or
about-
Vermont?
Vermont.
Vermont. I got in Beanville, it is illegal to sell or distribute road maps which have ads of a quote lewd or lascivious nature.
Okay. So sex shops can't advertise on maps.
Yeah.
I can't
All right.
even actually outright say, "Hey, I have pocket pussies." Like that's not allowed.
Huh. Okay.
Oh, all right. What do you got?
Is that the only one we have for Vermont?
I got nothing for Vermont. The sex position, however, is the green mounter, which is, as far as I can tell, just cowgirl, but she's leaning back and he's going, "Oh, baby, kiss me."
She's not really even leaning back. She's just bracing herself on his thighs with her hands behind her. She's kind
and
of
not
upright.
one of these has a chick squatting and bouncing, which is a goddamn travesty.
Yeah.
Do you know how much work that is? Holy
Yes.
shit.
It
All
is
right,
so
next.
much.
You can get specially built metal frames with these elastic bands to do it on.
And how come none of these positions involve a swing?
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, Virginia, you cannot have sex in your car no matter where you park it.
Not even in my
Like-
garage.
Yeah, if it's on my private property, I can't get it on in a car just cause.
Well, I need to run in real quick and let these teenage boys know that that's against the law.
What the hell, man? Not one of us has ever been 16 years old or 17 years old and not gotten it on in a car, I would bet.
I did
I
not.
have several memories doing that. Yeah.
Dude, my car
did
when I was 16
lots.
years old was covered in various liquids.
I did not have sex in a car until after my kids were born, and we had a babysitter for the kids, and we went to a empty store parking lot.
Huh.
What?
Seriously?
Seriously.
What the hell? Like,
Hey,
that dude. Oh,
It's just
I
parents trying to get a little uninterrupted nookie. I mean,
Hey.
man, I've
Jeez.
done it like I in the car, in the back seat, and on the fenders, on the hood, the trunk.
yeah. Do we have anything else for Virginia or?
I do. I have two. Adultery is considered a misdemeanor. And
Okay.
obscenity has a special rider where if you use a computer for it, it is a greater misdemeanor.
I'm fucked living in Virginia.
only if you have, quote, the V spot, which is the name of the sex act for Virginia.
Yes, the V spot. Because they couldn't come up with anything better for Virginia because they're uncreative douches.
Because Virginia's for lovers. I mean, that's their fucking tagline.
Right.
And yet, if I use a computer to send nude pictures, I'm in more trouble than if I whip my dick out in public.
Yeah.
All right, somebody describe the position.
She's laying on her back on like a raised platform. He's on his knees at the edge of the platform, and her legs are straight up, resting against his shoulders.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So lame.
So his legs or her legs are making a V, and he's railing her, and it's super vanilla, and her legs are or her feet are gonna start tingling, and it's boring like Virginia.
All right, I got
West
all right,
Virginia.
Washington.
All of Virginia.
Or Washington is.
Washington.
Washington is my favorite law that I'm going to read today. Strippers are not legally allowed to wear devices which simulate pubic hair.
What?
What the hell?
Why does that need to be allowed? What?
That's
I
what it
didn't
says.
even know that there
That's what-
was.
Yeah, strippers are not legally allowed to wear devices which simulate pubic hair.
Let it be known to the strippers in Seattle, no vag wings.
No badge weaves, no vajazzling either, because that's a simulation, right?
No vajazzling. God, you know what? We need to march for the right to vajazzle.
Well, strippers are the
Washington
only
strippers.
people who should be vajazzling.
Why? No.
You have one for Washington?
For Washington, if you give a sex worker a ride to work, your car itself can be confiscated.
Probably because every time they busted a John, he was like, I was just giving her a ride to work.
Right.
Yes. And
She
the
said
position.
she worked down the road. She was a nice girl. She worked at the O'Reillys. I didn't know.
And the position is the Washington Apple, which
So
is
doggy style.
it's a doggy style variation, and she is leaning over and her arms are out like they're supposed to be, but his legs are on the outside.
Oh, that's kind of fun. I mean, that's another one that gives you like a tighter glide.
Yes.
You know.
Gee, Lindsay, is that a good position? Do educate us.
Yes, it is. It's a very good position.
Lindsay is bright red. for you guys that cannot see the video, Lindsay is bright red.
Yeah.
I can only see the top of her head anyways. So,
She fucking loves that.
So
yeah.
all right. What do you got? West Virginia?
Yeah.
West Virginia.
It is illegal to transport anyone, sex worker or client, to a place of prostitution.
What is with all these transporting sex worker laws?
You're
Is
not
this like human
allowed to give
trafficking?
hookers rides, is what it means.
I wonder if this has to do with like human trafficking, like they're trying to crack down on that. Because like a pimp bus taking a whole bunch of hoes somewhere.
They're like, dude, if you're okay with your woman going and fucking turning tricks, like you deserve to go to jail. Like I think it's a crackdown on cucks. Like,
yeah. All right, you got one for West Virginia.
Coal Country, an unmarried couple who live together and quote lewdly associated, end quote, can face up to a year in jail, and this dates, it needs to be said, from 2014.
Holy
This
shit.
law was passed in 2014.
It was originally passed years ago and was reaffirmed in 2014.
Jesus. So you can't live together and have sex before marriage in Virginia. You can have sex, you just can't live together and have sex.
Yep.
Oh.
In West Virginia, because we don't need that kind around here.
Yep.
The only kind that we get together with are our family.
All right, Lindsay, describe that position.
It's another one that suffocates us girls.
The coal miner.
Yep. So the coal miner, guys standing, girls have their hips pushed all the way up.
This is West Virginia, so that's probably the coal miner's daughter, too.
Yep. No, that's the coal mine owner's daughter. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But shoulders and head are on the bed, hips way up in the air. It suffocates you in about 3 seconds.
Yep.
Oh, you like to be choked anyway.
I do, but not by my own tits.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
that seems uncomfortable for everyone realistically, because the guy's doing all of the work.
Mm.
There is, and
and
you can't return. Like there's no beyond zero, right? Like if standing straight up is zero, there's no back from zero in that position. It's zero and then forward, and that's all you got. So
yeah.
And that's another one. That's another one that's going to make the guy really tired really fast. Like don't skip.
Yeah.
It's a core workout for the chick too.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm too fat for that position.
Yeah, and the whole time she's
Wisconsin.
going
All right, Wisconsin. That is Andrew.
All right.
And
Two more,
Lindsay's-
Wisconsin and Wyoming.
Oh, I know Wisconsin has them, but I don't have them on the list.
Oh, you don't have a Wisconsin? Mean I get to say it?
Hold on. Let me find one.
No, I got it. Okay. In Cornersville, it is illegal for a man to fire a gun while his partner is climaxing.
That is fucking un-American bullshit. You sons of bitches. Really?
Holy shit.
It's yeah.
Again, how much of a problem was this in Wisconsin that they made a law about this?
Actually, in Wisconsin, probably pretty bad.
Yeah.
Without revealing too much, I'm going to say there may potentially be a reason that this law exists.
Yeah. And one of you guys has to describe that position. Because
I can do that. So it's called Rock in the Wood Like a Badger. I think they meant this as more like 69. However, she is down by his feet. Her
No,
head
it's like
is-
reverse cowgirl, but she's laying all the way forward.
Oh, okay, I get it.
That's one of those positions where he's like, I need to go prepare, and it's to wash his fucking feet.
You know what?
Yeah.
No, I got some shit for you right now.
I hope he
for
doesn't
weird-
have a straight dick because that would be really uncomfortable for him.
It
If it's-
might
if-
be.
If he doesn't
however-
have downward curve, that would be uncomfortable.
No, you just got to be willing to let it bend slightly. I've actually done that position. It's not the world's most comfortable, but it works out.
And like
Right.
as guys, some guys like to watch. There's definitely a watching position, and you are definitely looking at her butthole.
Yeah,
Oh, you were totally looking.
and
at-
you're looking at everything in that position.
There's
Yeah.
there's definitely some finger play coming into on that one.
This
Yeah,
So,
episode
now- yeah.
has now made me super self-conscious about the fact that people are looking at my butthole.
yeah.
No,
well,
see that position is that you're leaning back. You do the lick a finger or two, depending on how much you know this woman, and
yeah,
that's what you do in that position. Because you can't resist it. It's gonna happen. At the least, it's a thumb.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
just the way it's gonna work.
Oh, yeah.
I do have another weird.
I prefer the
Wisconsin-
thumb actually.
See the thumb? It's not too big. It's not too small. It just works. It's that's my preference.
And
It's
it bends the
easier.
other direction from the other fingers, right? The thumb has a better bend in that position.
Yeah, it's
Like if your
it's just-
hand's right here.
If you're behind, it's just easier. You know, it just
Yeah.
works out better.
Yeah.
I do have another Wisconsin kind of sexual law, at least for people from Wisconsin. One, before I get to that one, I do want to point out that adultery is in fact a class 1 felony in Wisconsin.
Felony.
Damn.
Yep.
Jeez.
Yes, that's right. Supposedly, anyone who's caught cheating on his or her spouse can be fined $10,000 and get up to 3 years in prison. in
Holy
Wisconsin.
shit.
Yep.
Good lord.
So, alright.
Okay.
Go for
Also, not truly sexual outside of the state of Wisconsin, but sexual within the state of Wisconsin. And Lindsay will know what I'm talking about.
This has to do with beer, doesn't it?
beer or
Yeah,
cheese
not beer.
or a cow.
Wisconsin cheese must be, quote, highly pleasing, end quote.
Huh.
Yes, because if you give us subpar cheese, we're pissed.
Oh
That's-
yeah, we
that's-
will possibly murder you.
That's why
It's-
Swiss cheese has all those holes in it.
Yeah.
Uh,
They send it
alright.
to Wisconsin first.
Yeah. So all right, Wyoming.
Wyoming.
You got one for
This is the
Wyoming?
last one.
You got one for Wyoming?
I do not.
Okay, I got in Newcastle, it is illegal to have sex in a walk-in freezer.
You shouldn't do that anyway, because burr.
Yeah.
No,
That seems
There's-
likely to result in things being frozen to other things, which would
I-
be.
I worked at McDonald's. We had a walk-in freezer. It is a lot better than you would think.
I
That's
disagree.
in California. Okay. That's in California where it's hot outside.
Oh,
This
I'm
is
going to point out.
Wyoming.
I'm going to point out. Living in Wisconsin, I have had a chick try to convince me to have sex with her in the winter outside.
oh, no. Okay, that is entirely different. That is something like the sex was fine, but when anything cold touches you down there, it is a mood killer. Snow.
Yeah.
Snow causes shrinkage.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to do your thing, and your balls are crawling up inside you.
Yeah.
No. If she's blown you and occasionally shoves a little bit of snow in her mouth, just for that quick cold sensation,
Uh-huh.
that quick burst of nerve
Yes.
sensation. Nah. It can be amazing.
Yes.
However, trying to have sex in a snowbank, I will tell you right now, is very difficult, although doable.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, just bring a bowl of snow inside the fucking house, Wyoming.
ice cubes. And I got. Or wait, somebody has to describe the act.
cow tipper
Is
of Wyoming,
again one of those doggy styles, but for amateurs.
which
Yeah,
is a girl
doggy
who
style.
almost understands the
It's
proper position.
He's pounding her. That's what it is.
Yeah, she almost understands the proper position for doggy style, although not quite, because she's from Wyoming and has seen 7 people who are not her family in her lifetime. So
Yeah.
she doesn't actually know.
So
Right.
all right, and I got one more. I got a bonus on the federal level. There is no federal regulation of the materials allowed in sex toys.
Really?
Yes.
So
And
they will
yet,
regulate
sex
the-
toys are made of extremely safe materials that are hypoallergenic and non-porous and easy to clean. The government doesn't regulate that, and yet sex toys aren't fucking killing people.
Well, what boggles
Go
my
figure.
mind is that they regulate what's in your juice that you drink. They regulate what's even in your beer that you drink and your liquor. But the thing that you literally shove inside yourself regularly, they got nothing to do with.
Yes.
Well, you put food and drink inside yourself too, but you know.
But food and drink is going into a place that food and drink is meant to.
That's not true. That's not
Yes.
true. There was the heat wave in Europe last week, and there actually was news stories from doctors telling women not to put popsicles inside themselves to cool down.
For the last
Right.
time, people, not a pocket. Sugar is bad.
Yep.
That sounds like a terribly itchy problem. Ugh.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
it's really hot. You know what would make this even better? A horrible yeast infection. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is wrong with people?
For real.
What's better than shoving a grape popsicle in your woohoo?
Everything. Literally everything is better than that.
I don't know. I mean, it is grape, so how do
Just
you
not
argue
a
with that?
flavor. Can't you just get the little popsicle molds and make just regular ice in those popsicle molds, and then you can just
hold on. You know what they put in tap water?
all right, use
Yeah.
distilled water.
You're gonna you're gonna have to use distilled or boiled water in those molds, and that's a lot of work. And I can hit up the good humor man from, I can hear him from 2 blocks away, and you know what? You can wind up with Mickey Mouse up there, and you ain't complaining. So
If you put a condom on the popsicle, you can avoid some of these.
I was just gonna say, just
That's a good
saran wrap SpongeBob and shove them up there.
A condom's a better idea. Saran wrap has a chance of leakage coming through. So condom's
throw
a
a
better
condom
idea.
over your Ninja Turtle, and you know what? Donatello's going for an adventure.
Shove a SpongeBob up there, and then a couple hours later, your guy can pull out the bubblegum eyeballs.
Yeah. Oh God. They're yawny
God, it's all
beads.
dyed
They're
red
yawny
and
beads.
green. It's amazing. It's so festive.
Jeez. All right, I have to go.
God.
I have to pee. I gotta get. It's late,
We are-
man.
We are the worst people ever, you guys. It is after midnight on the East Coast,
Yeah.
and this has been like a 3-hour podcast.
Anarchy
and I
Among
would-
Friends after dark.
And I would apologize for that, but I'm not going to apologize for.
Because this is
Everyone.
episode 69, and we had to make it special for you guys.
It is
Yes.
episode 69.
And not one of the positions of the states was fucking 69. How disappointing is that?
It's
I know.
very,
very, you know what? That is the position for Americans. If you were an American, you fucking 69.
Yep.
You pieces of
None,
shit. You
none of the
fucking do it.
positions. None of the positions were 69. Involve swings or involved outside objects.
Yeah.
And no
Some-
fireworks or machine guns. In fact, we're legally forbidden, apparently, in Wisconsin from enjoying the fact that we're Americans because fucking communists. So, you know what? Fuck you guys.
Now, my question is, if that's illegal in Wisconsin, is it legal in the other 49 states? Because it doesn't say that for any of the others.
Make Kevin try that tonight, and then tell us in the morning.
All right. Cool.
So,
You know what? Lindsay, next time we go to the gun range, we're going late at night, and we're gonna